All right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We're back to playing deltagreen tonight. And wait, was I wrong? Steven made a face. Did I say something wrong?
I just didn't know what channel we were on. I haven't been paying attention for the past couple of years.
I know. Yeah, I know. You definitely wouldn't know. Anyhow, we're here and we're continuing our lives. We tell him, and we're probably done with North Carolina tonight, one way or the other. I think. I don't know. I've said that before and been wrong.
We'll find out.
That was the end of the statement. That was it. That was the end of the statement. Okay.
Don't jinx yourself, Jeff.
I have a topic. I have a banter topic. Here we go. Ready? We've been playing around with these on a couple different games now. Steven, I'm gonna start with you. Sexier Colin Firth, Colin Farrell, or legendary British golfer Colin Montgomery. You can go ahead and Google him. You can Google him if you want. You can Google him.
Yeah, while I'm Googling, I'm gonna give my hot take here. I hate Colin Farrell. I think he's a shit actor.
What?
I think he takes bad movies. There are maybe 2 movies he's done that have been good, and then the bulk of his movies are bullseye Daredevil quality. So he's definitely the bottom of the list.
First of all, Colin Farrell is going to be on the channel next week, so this is really ill-timed.
I'll say it to his face. That's how passionate I am about this.
Secondly, he's got a really good show on Apple TV right now called
What
Sugar.
show is that?
It's called Sugar.
I haven't seen it. I'm not going to watch it.
It is my kind of show.
I've watched a lot of Colin Farrell movies.
Noir.
Because he keeps getting roles for some reason, and it just pisses me off.
I understand the anger that you are putting out there about his acting quality, but that was not the question I asked. The question was sexiness.
So looking up Colin Montgomery, if we're talking sexiness, I guess he does have. You picked 2 Scottish people and an English guy too.
I don't think there's Americans Colin Farrell's Irish or Canadians named Colin, so I think it's all
Colin Farrell's Irish, isn't he? Yeah,
it's all people from those islands that you know.
So we're definitely putting Montgomery here on the bottom of the list, looking at these pictures.
Okay.
And then, I can't get over the bad acting. So Colin Farrell's going second there. Who doesn't like a British accent? Colin Firth, right there at the top. I think he earned
Irish people. I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair.
Throw it out there. 3/4 of the planet that was colonized. Never mind. I know we're not going to go down that route. Let's go ahead and introduce our characters. Long, go ahead and tell us a little about Agent Inferno.
What's up? I'm an Italian American living from Jersey. Got a pizzeria that my family owns. I visit every now and then. Used to be DAA, but now I'm just hunting after shadows, witches. Who knows what it is?
Damn right, man. Damn right. Next up, Melissa, tell us about Agent Fuller House.
So Agent Tamara Fuller. Real name is Sandy Kolak. She is a medical examiner, actually from the North Carolina area. And she is not doing super great on HP or willpower at the moment. And Yep.
Yeah. No one's really in great shape. Everyone's got something usually that there's like, whether it's willpower, sanity, or HP, someone's got something. And then a few people are going for the trifecta. We'll meet them in a moment. Next up, Maitre, tell us about Agent Ray.
Agent Isha Ray went to bed last night kicking herself for accidentally being so cavalier about talking about her life, not realizing that she would wake up to people with this trifecta. She upset. And she might have had a little less self-loathing if she realized what she was going to wake up to. And also last session, Vin called her bossy, which I can't stop thinking about, and I think is so perfect. So that's what she is.
Excellent. And then speaking of trifecta, Steven, tell us about Agent Price, and tell us, what do you think he's more likely to die from? Sanity loss, HP loss, or willpower loss?
Most people don't die from sanity. I'll go introduction first while I think about that. So Agent Price is, of course, Silver Fox, like myself. I've got some grays coming in, and I've got a lot of gray up here if I grew it out. And he really just exudes 80s sexiness, since we're talking about sexy men, that would be Agent Price. I get to decide that as my character. He goes by Vin to his friends. He was the veteran of the group, but now he's got a co-veteran. And if Agent Fuller is driving on empty right now, Agent Price is below the line. He's got 3 health, 2 willpower, and 1 point away from breaking sanity. What he'll die from, it's going to be HP. He's going to fall down a vent shaft or some stairs or something like that.
Yeah.
He puts himself in bad situations.
Both are things you've done already.
Yeah.
All right.
Third time's the charm.
I'm good at falling. That's what Vin does. He just falls.
I can tell you personally, as you get older, Steven, it gets a lot easier. Just gets a lot. I mean, it hurts more, but it gets a lot easier just to fall down. Your leg's just like, hey, my leg just didn't bend. That was odd. Why didn't that happen? And then finally, Ashley, tell us about Agent Weaver.
Agent Blair Weaver is our former FEMA program manager. Lost that fucking job impersonating the FBI, which is great because now I again impersonated the FBI with Agent Luca Dante. And then we went to this bitch's house and she's like, yeah, can I take a picture of your ID? And then we were at a crime scene, which we then fled from. So really looking great for all of us, honestly. Totally just didn't put ourselves in a pickle. Totally not at all.
I'm not worried about you guys at all. You're gonna be great. You guys are really smart and capable.
We're worried. We're very worried.
Smart enough to be worried.
Hey, and then who knows if I'm even gonna wake up? So
guys,
I'm hype.
Take a lesson from Long. Just chill. Everything's gonna be fine.
That's not in my vocabulary.
To be fair,
chill.
To be fair, I think Vin is past the stage of worrying. Like he's just like, fuck it, let it happen at this point.
Well, let's go ahead and the summary, and then we'll get started. So last time around, Price, you were retracing your footsteps. After you had a hag encounter while on a stakeout with Agent Inferno in front of the Villagio delle Sorelle. You tried to track down in the vents where the hag, which is what you guys have started to refer to this creature as. And inside, this old woman, who you all believe is the hag, manifested, booped you on the nose, and then suddenly you fell all the way down to the basement. Elsewhere, Fuller, you convinced Todd Beach, the super of the building, that you were interested in renting the apartment, and not only that, but that you're a medium, you're a psychic. You can tell Melissa's not paying attention because she's not smiling, because she was extremely proud of this moment. And look at her. Now she's paying attention. I'm talking about when you were a psychic / medium last time. It's too late now. Eventually, you Fuller found Price down in the basement. Weaver and Ray, you were interviewing one of the college kids who admitted to having some of the same dreams that you all have had in the past few days. Inferno, you spoke with a young child, Naomi, who actually took you inside the apartment and showed you several of her drawings, some of which were creepy and weird and who knows. Fuller and Price, you also found some child drawings down in the basement. They were scattered in the hallway next to the storage spaces in a way that felt odd and not random. And then Weaver and Ray, you responded to like a distress call or just some sort of distress that was happening on Ronnie's floor. Robert Dorder, one of his neighbors who was a suspected photographer, was shouting and pleading for his life. You couldn't get into the apartment. Todd Beach and Mary Morangello, another neighbor, went back into her apartment to call the police. But then you were able to open the door. Ray, you fired a couple shots into the lock. Inside, it was trashed from clearly violence. You found blood, you found a broken window, and you found a flashing camera. And outside the window on the streets lay the body of Robert Dorder, one of the inhabitants of this building. The camera had some blurry photos, but there was one that was kind of clear, and that was of Maddie Mercier, who is the girlfriend of Kurt Fuller. Not Kurt Fuller, Kurt, what the hell's his name? Winter. Winter, who also lives in the building. Later, when you were trying to respond to the gunshots, Price and Fuller, you had a blackout. briefly in the basement, and then there was this like sudden disappearance of this record player that you've seen a couple times at this point. All of you decided to flee the scene, and then you met back up at your motel. You discussed your plans, and you came up with an idea. You were going to return to the building about a day later at night, after the police had done their stuff. You're going to get down into that basement storage area. You were going to hopefully, if possible, if the opportunity presented itself, question Maddie Mercier. And there is also some talk of using Naomi as bait to lure out this hag because she seems to have a connection. Some of you decided to go to sleep that night. Only one person actually awoke in the morning, and that was Ray. And so we're going to pick up. Well, I don't know where the hell we're going to pick up, because when we say we fade in from black, what we see is Agent Inferno, and he is not in the motel room. We can see that he is all alone. He is sitting atop what looks like a roof, maybe, of a building. You can see like there's a sign off to the side, kind of sticking up from the front of the building. Might be a business sign, but it's kind of blurred out a bit. Everything around is extraordinarily dark. Now, all around you, Agent Inferno, is water. Like, you are on top of this roof, and all around you in every direction is water. There's no wind, there's no current. It's just this still, terrible, disgusting dark water. You are all alone, and you just kind of sit there for a while, and it feels like an eternity. In fact, you're just kind of sitting there watching absolutely nothing, because your eye tracks the water out, and there's nothing else. And even on the horizon, it's just blocked by blackness, effectively. Now, eventually, after this eternity passes, you can see that the water starts to stir. It's the first time you've seen like motion. Otherwise, it's just been this like drone of nothing. Maybe you move around the rooftop, maybe you don't. But eventually you see the water stir, and when you look up, you can see a figure emerging from the darkness far ahead. And as it grows closer, you start to make out the shape. It is a large, bloated woman. Very familiar. You've seen her before. And she is incredibly large, larger than you remember seeing her last. You can see her skin is sagging. You can see her clothes have long since fallen away. And as she approaches the building, like, you don't really feel any sense of like fear. Nothing other than that washes through you as you're kind of watching this. You watch as this gash opens up across her belly, and you can see kind of pushing their way out from the massive stomach of this bloated woman. Out of that gash, you see a pair of hands, and then you can see the arms, and then you can see a head and some shoulders, and then a torso, and it all pushes itself free, and it kind of flops down a little bit into the water. You can see that there's a tendril that seems to be connecting to the back, and as you're looking at the body, which is naked as can be, you see the body just kind of lifts up into the air as if just being lifted by this tendril. And you can see it almost just hurl across the space and gets plopped in front of you right there on the roof. And when you look at them, you look at his body, Inferno, you recognize them as well. It's you. Now you look a little different. No clothes. Your skin is sort of coated, this other you, in some kind of grimy fluid like amniotic or bile or something like that. But it's definitely you. And you can see that this figure reaches out and it grabs you, like kind of embraces you. And it's like this warmth that passes through. And it's the first time probably since you've been sitting here for an eternity that you've actually felt a little bit of like the stress and the anxiety that's been building up start to bleed away a bit. And then you feel yourself weightless for a moment, and you're like lifted up into the sky a bit. And you hear this soft splash, and you realize that tendril has retracted, and it's pulled both you and other you along with it. And then after that kind of muted splash, you can see that the second you separates, looks you in the face, smiles, and looks very friendly. And then it begins to gently start shoving you inside of the gash in the giant body of this bloated woman. And the size of the woman is more like a building than a person. And it's gentle, but firm. Maybe you struggle, maybe you don't, but it happens. And as you get pushed inside, you see organs, you see tendrils, you see arms, you see legs, you see masticated and half-digested bodies of both humans and animals and something alien. And you also see yourself as you kind of turn around. You see yourself, the other you, smiling, kind of waving goodbye. And you can see the tear of the belly slowly begins to close and starts to stitch it up from the inside. And now you are in utter, absolute darkness. And you feel like this agony suddenly overtake you. It's the first time you've probably felt anything. You haven't felt the wind in an eternity. And you realize like acid is beginning to eat away at you. You feel this terrible gnashing as something is chomping down on you, like digesting you. And you let out this loud and terrible scream. And that is when you wake up. You're in the motel room. You feel wet. Agent Price, the two of you, I think, are sharing a room. I think that's what we've kind of been doing. Agent Price, you've been smoking. You've been drinking all these different energy drinks. And as you were watching, maybe you're TV or reading something, you heard the sounds of like a little bit of like shifting and moving from Inferno's bed. And when you look over, you watch as his skin is getting like eaten away, almost like a sunburn is being time-lapsed in front of you. And then you see like little chunks of his flesh here and there almost look like it starts to wrench and twist as if something is like trying to gnaw and chew on it. And if you swear, you hear a crunch as well. And if you didn't know any better, you'd say he's being eaten. And it's at that point, as you're like looking, the Inferno, you up, you're screaming now, almost headbutt Price. I need Price to roll a sanity test. I need Inferno to roll a D4.
Ah! I'll run to the bathroom, like rinse the parts of my skin that are burning.
Okay.
I rolled a 35 under 37.
Well done.
Got a 1.
Wow.
1 point of sanity loss for
No,
Price.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
It's a minimum. There's a minimum to this. This is unnatural.
I don't have any willpower to push it
You're
off.
just gonna have enough sand. You can take it. It's okay.
Break.
Okay. We'll get to that in a sec. You watch as Inferno runs past you towards the bathroom, and you can see that his back is just like his clothes are just ripped and shredded. Like they look as if something has torn through them. You can see all sorts of those same kind of wounds that you saw kind of forming on his open skin all across his back. And you can see that the bed itself is coated in fluids. Some of it is looking like this like watered down blood, but you can also tell there's some like yellow greenish discoloration on some of the sheets that suggests a different fluid as well.
I'll go check on Luca first before I get into the sheets.
It burns.
What the hell is happening? What happened?
I can hardly remember. A dream about being dissolved. My skin, it's on fire.
Like in acid? What do you mean dissolved?
Yeah, that sounds right. I'm tearing my clothes off as we speak.
As you start tearing your clothes off. Yeah.
Start the shower for him, thinking he's just got to wash it off.
Inferno, you start tearing the clothes away. And as you do, you feel like your skin peel away with it. Now, it doesn't hurt as much as you might think it is. Again, it's more like you're peeling away the dead skin of a sunburn. But as you do, like this huge chunk on your chest just peels away with it. and then another on your other side of your chest, your other pec, and your arms, your legs. And you can see like piling up on the ground, in addition to all of that sort of ruined clothing, intermixed is like an entire sheet of skin, a second like layer of it on the ground. You see your skin that you now have, as you were just standing there, is raw and red, and there's a few wounds obviously here and there, but it doesn't have that same kind of gnashed look to it. You step into the shower, Inferno, and the same thing, like the little bits and pieces that you had a moment ago start to wash away. You can see the water in the tub of the motel starts to back up because all this skin is just clumping on the drain.
That's disgusting. But I'm going to deal with it as best I can.
Okay. So
yeah, I'm not dealing with it well. I'll go check the bed, see if it's like burning through the sheets or anything.
You go back to the bed. Doesn't seem to be burning through the sheets. The bed is heavily, it's heavily damaged. You can tell it's sunk through the sheets into the mattress itself. And it looks like if you have like do you have any science or anything like that? Any science skills?
I've got a 10 in criminology.
Just give me an int. Give me like an int roll.
All right.
Int times 5.
Int times 5, so I'm looking for 65.
Yeah.
That's a 7.
Okay. The color and sort of the smell, you think it's bile. Yeah, you think it's definitely bile.
I'll rip the sheets and blankets and just pile them, throw them in a corner for now, and then go back and check on Luca.
Okay. You're just showering, Luca.
Yeah, just cleaning off.
Okay. We'll cut away from there then. And we're going to go over to Ray. Ray, you slept through the night. You wake up. You can go ahead and roll your d6. You can get your willpower back. You had a very nice night. Compared to everybody else's experiences here, you're going to have a very nice night.
Yeah,
How
rub it
nice
in our
for
faces
Ray.
that you get a d6.
How nice for
Oh, and you
her.
rolled a 6.
Of course she does.
Oh,
Of course she does. But you
What a
had your
wonderful
own
night for
room.
you.
You had your own room. Would you have gone and checked on anybody? Would you have checked on like Weaver or Fuller or anybody?
Sorry, before I went to sleep or
No, after, when you wake up.
when I wake up, yes. I'm immediately heading to Fuller and
Okay.
not even thinking about whether I should or not. It's just a reflex.
You go over there. There's no answer at the door. Roll a luck test. Give me a D100.
Okay.
Yeah, you want a 1 to 50. It's basically what you're looking for.
That is a fail with a 92.
Unfortunately, they did not give you a second key. How would you try to? And like you knock and you knock and you knock and you know, and if you listen, you hear. Like you hear the sound of like labored and loud breathing.
Okay. I'm sending a text first to both of them. And if they don't respond, I'm going to call.
You hear the phones inside the room go off and never get picked up.
Okay. There a housekeeping card or anything on the floor?
Yeah, we'll say down the hall. You can see that there's a woman who's going by, and she's kind of going into the room, knocking on things and unlocking some doors, replacing some stuff. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go up to her and essentially try to bribe her to just let me into this room.
Okay. Okay. Give me you can give me like a persuade. Yeah, give me a persuade, I would say. Okay. So she's like, ma'am, I'm very sorry, but that's not something I can quite do. I'm sure that you mean well, but it would that is perhaps someone at the front desk can help you.
All right. Thank you. And
Okay.
I'm going to head to the front desk.
You're gonna go to the front. Okay, go down to the front desk. It's like late in the morning or so, we'll say. You can see continental breakfast. Like, it's a really bad one, but it's there. A handful of folks. They look like out-of-towners. You can see a few, like one small family, not the same one that you scared, is like there, and they look like they have like beach gear and stuff. But you go up to the front desk, and they say, what can I help you? Is there something I can do for you?
Yes, I went out with some friends last night, and we all had a little too much to drink, and I just need to check on them because they're not answering the door. Would you mind just helping me just go in and just check on them?
What room number would that be?
I'm gonna give them.
Yeah. And so he like, let's just go ahead and call first. And so he picks up the phone, and it's ringing. It's ringing. It's ringing. And I go, oh, well, are you sure they haven't gone out?
I am positive. I was actually just at the room, and I tried to call them as well, and I heard it through the door, and I know neither of us wants to be responsible for something happening to your guest.
You're absolutely right. 1 second. I'll work on up there. And so you can see he kind of turns around, talks to somebody else. They take over the desk, and he goes up to the room with you. He pulls out like a master key, opens it up, and the door opens, and the two of you step inside. But we're gonna cut. Weaver, not sure if you're awake or if you've always been awake or what. You're just there in some kind of cave or tunnel, maybe. It is dark, but for some reason you are able to see. Like, there's like a coat of light on a few things here and there. And more than that, you can smell, as it absolutely reeks in here. It's rot. It's like long, dried, hideous rot. And as you look around, you can see that there are bones. There are so many bones in this cavern. They're smashed, they're split, they're cleaned of marrow, and you hear this like crunch and crack as you fidget and shift, kind of just straining your neck. You realize your body isn't quite working the way you want it to. And then those sounds are drowned out by a powerful single note of an organ. A doom. And then there's another. And then another. And it's erratic, it's atonal, there doesn't seem to be any real melody or harmony going on. And when you start straining your neck to look around, you see a woman in this large cavern with you, and she's sitting in this big chair, and it's a throne. In fact, really, it's golden, but tarnished golden though. And she is faintly phosphorescent. You realize this is likely what has been giving you some bit of light. You can see her face is painted with blood, and you can see that she is sitting so still that she could easily have been mistaken for a corpse. And as you look at her, you recognize her. You recognize the face. It's your former partner, Agent Aggie. Her hair is darker now. It's weighed down, you're sure, by like filth and sweat. And you can see the curls and the waves that she had have kind of straightened a bit just from the extra weight. And she's wearing a gown. It's dirty, it's loose fitting. It's very old. It's very bright and white. At some points you think perhaps it might even be a wedding gown. And then as your eyes focus, you see right there in her chest is this terrible, horrific wound, but it doesn't seem to bother her. And it's massive. It's like the size of your hand, and it's just a slit right down the chest. And it looks very old. The blood has like long turned brown. Discoloration is there. It's not wet. And you hear the shuffling near you, and you watch as a pile of the bones starts to fall away. You look down into literally nothing, just falls. And then there's another and another and another. And each time one of these piles of bones falls away, it's replaced by this just void, right? Just there. And then the walls start to fall away as well until all that is left is the floor. And you and Agent Aggie atop this gray rock floating in this void itself. And you can see as you try to strain and look, your eyes like bending, failing to comprehend what just looks like these endless, impossible angles of darkness. And your mind starts to unravel. Like you can almost hear as something in your brain just clicks the wrong direction. You have like this inability to focus until finally that is given to you as you feel a sharp and very deep pain in your chest. And you look down, and there, protruding from your chest, is this long, crooked bone blade. You hear the sound of your sternum crack, crunch, implode. You try to scream, but your lungs have already collapsed. And then whoosh, you wake up. Agent Ray, as the door opens up and you and this motel manager step in, you see both Fuller and Weaver sleeping in their respective beds. You see, as you're watching and looking at Weaver, seconds after you step into the room, this dark red pool of blood forms on her chest, and it's very clear. And you can hear the manager's, what's happening? What's happening to her? Oh my God, what's happening to her?
It's fine, sir. It's fine. I'm going to.
Weaver pops up right at that moment, and you just fling yourself forward. You see a flake or two of blood just fly across the room, and it gets a little bit on like Agent Ray's shoulder. You get a speck of it on the manager. And now, ma'am, are you okay? As you look down, Weaver, you see you have a gaping knife wound that's about 4 or 5 inches in length, right in the middle of your chest. This huge stab wound, and it's just gushing blood. You don't even feel it, but it's gushing blood. And there's, ma'am, oh my God, call an ambulance. Someone call an ambulance.
It's fine. And we had a lot to drink last night. I told you it's fine.
She's got a stab wound.
It's fine. No, it's...
Lisa's ripping at her clothes as she's trying to like get this out, and she's gasping, and it's this horrible rattling wet noise as she's just like spitting up water or blood, and it just staring at you horrified. And like the only thing she really gets out is Aggie. And that's all she
blood
says.
Trickles down the side of your mouth as you do so. You're extremely pale. You peel away, and you notice as you start pushing your hand down there, first it hurts. There's a pressure, like a bruise, like a massive bruise. But as you start kind of like poking at it, you realize it's entirely superficial. There's like no hole there. There's just like your skin has been ripped. But you start to almost like you're just moving your blood around, and you're almost like looking for the wound itself. It looks like one, but as you start to move some things around, you realize it's just these big chunks of skin and flesh that are just pressed on top. You still feel the pressure of it, and you can start to see the discoloration as this massive bruise is there. I need both Agent Ray and Agent Weaver to roll sand tests. Weaver, you also are going to take 1 point of damage as your chest hurts.
Success for me.
1 point of sanity loss. That was the minimum. Weaver, how'd you do on your sand?
Oh, I failed 62 over 47.
All right, it's a D3. It's going to be 2 points of sanity loss for you.
Okay.
The man is kind of panicking at this point, and he's like reaching into his pocket. He's got his cell phone out. You can see.
I am gonna shove him out and go with him and close the door behind me. Sir, it's fine. It's fine, sir. It's okay. She's okay.
Oh, no,
just had a lot of drink. We don't need you to call the ambulance.
She's got a stab wound in her.
No, she doesn't.
Ma'am, I'm calling.
Once she realizes that it's more superficial, she just, I scared myself. I'm anemic. It's not deep. I'm okay.
Sir, please.
And she'll get up to get like a wet cloth to show that there's no deep wound.
Okay. Give me a persuasion test, Weaver. This is a pretty tense moment.
Oh, take it. Take a boost. Take a boost on this.
Support I can offer.
You're kind of shoving him out. I feel like you guys are kind of going in different directions here, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Weaver. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. 98.
Okay. Ma'am, I don't know what it is, but clearly something's very wrong with you. You look pale as the sheets. I'm just going to call an ambulance for you really fast. We're just going to get someone out here just to check in on you, just to check. And then he's like, wait, why is your friend not waking up either? And we're going to cut. And as we cut, we see Agent Fuller resting peacefully on her bed in the motel room, the very motel room that we were just in, except it's darker. Weaver's not actually moving. Ray's not there. Lights out, etc. And we hear a familiar shuffling sound coming from the hallway outside of the motel itself. Fuller, you try to strain your neck because you realize your legs aren't moving. Your arms aren't moving. The only thing you can kind of do is tilt your head a little bit here and there. It's fairly cold in here. You see the door opens up. You hear the sounds of like the heavy motel room door, like scrape metal on metal. And you move inside. And like this figure moves inside. And you realize like you can see it. No issues. You've heard stories from other people who've had dreams where they didn't really see what it was. It was just a presence they felt. But you see this shadow, this massive shadow just move. You see at the very front of the shadow, there is like an older woman in a thin, dated dress. You can see that light is moving along the wall, and in one of her hands, this candelabra, a hand of God, and you realize it is literally a hand, severed, dripping blood on the ground, and each of the fingers is lit with flame. You feel a little bit of a pressure on the bed as the shadow, this mass, starts to roll over top of it. You hear a little clink as she sets the hand of God, that giant candelabra, down on the nightstand next to you. And she just doesn't crawl atop you the way that you've heard some of these other stories. But she just comes up kind of next to you, and she's looking down, and you can see the face. It's the face of Elizabeth Salmon. You've seen this twisted face before. It's the same face that you saw when you're inside Ronnie's green box. It's the same face other people have reported. It's the same face you saw in his notes, the newspaper from 120 years ago, 1890 something, the Salmon Sisters. And as this mass is there, she just kind of stands taller and gets bigger. And then she reaches down with these long, thin, bony arms and just kind of scoops you up out of the bed into her arms. And you feel so small in her arms relative to her size. And then the whole while, she's just like, shh, it's okay. Shh, 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 shh. Just like cooing and shushing. And she just kind of glides. You don't even feel like an undulation from steps. And then she sits down at this chair in the corner and just starts kind of rocking you a little bit. kind of back and forth, here and there, very slowly. And she like leans down and she whispers right at your face. Do you know why a child finds comfort being rocked to sleep? Because in their heart of hearts, in their oldest memories, in their deepest dreams, they remember their first meeting with us. And she just puts a hand out and she kind of like pulls your shirt up over your chin a little bit, and she just kind of moves her hand and caresses your face. Maybe you try to talk, but as you do, you realize like there's something in your throat that's preventing you. And you suddenly feel like you're choking, like you're coughing. And she's just like, oh, there. And she turns you to the side and kind of rests you on her shoulder the way a mother might a child. And she just starts gently patting you on the back. There. And you're like, whoa. And you can see that you're facing like the window. And outside, it's just void. And then just as it feels like you're about to lose consciousness from choking, you feel this whack as the gentle taps turns into this heavy slap. And you see something fly out of your mouth, collide with the window, and then whoosh, you wake up. And there you see in your room, Agent Weaver frantically trying to wipe blood away from her chest, Ray trying to get this hotel manager to not, like he's got a phone in his hand. He's like, I'm going to call her. She's not waking up. Oh my God, what the hell happened? And as Fuller wakes up, you projectile this gunk all the way across the room. And it smashes against the window. He's like, oh my stars. Oh my God. Oh my, ma'am, are you okay? Ma'am, are you okay? What happened? What the hell is going on here? Oh my God. Oh God. Ma'am, can you hear? Do you know where you are?
What? Yes. Why are you in our room? Why? And she's like looking at Ray. Like, why is he here? Why is
and to him and say, sir, thank you for letting me in. You need to go. You need to go.
Ma'am, I need to call this in. This is very unusual behavior. There's a woman with a stab wound that has disappeared. There's another woman who just coughed up the biggest loogie in the history of loogies, and it just traveled across the room. What is happening? Oh my goodness!
What are you gonna? I'm fine. I'm fine. What is the problem? I'm fine.
And as you're saying that, Fuller, you feel the worst pain cascading through the back. Like oh my God! Like just someone has just taken the largest hot poker and has just stabbed it right into your back.
Ray, can you get this guy out of here? We're fine. We just need privacy. Can we just get?
I'm literally taking him by the arm and walking him out.
What? Oh, gee. Okay. Roll a persuasive. I'll give you one last chance here. Roll a persuasive test. Like you can force him out. That's not an issue. But like, roll a persuasion test.
Yeah, I'm gonna take 2 boosts because I really want to succeed at this.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
This is such an intense situation. I think it requires a roll. So.
Son of a bitch.
Want to tell everybody what you rolled? Want to tell everybody what you rolled?
Yeah, that's a critical.
That's a critical failure.
Was it 88?
Okay. So he's like, as you push him out into the hallway, he's like, no, ma'am, I am calling. And you look at his phone and you can very clearly see 911. He dials on his phone. We're gonna let the authorities come. We're gonna get an ambulance out here. We're gonna get the police, and we're gonna get to the bottom of just what in the hell just happened.
The phone. Can I smack the phone out of his hand?
You smack it out. And he's like, ma'am, what are you doing, man?
And I'm gonna pull out the FBI badge. Sir.
What is happening?
I do not want to do this way. I need you to leave.
What? Do it.
I need you to leave. And I'm going to bend down and pick up his phone. I'm going to keep this. I will return it to you in an hour. Yes, and I will return it to you at the front desk in an hour.
And he just bolts and runs as fast as he can down the hall. Back inside the room.
Oh, crap.
Agent
Fuller is like, now that he's out of the room, like she just sort of grits her teeth and is just like letting out this like very low pitch, just like, oh my God. It hurts. And so she's doing this thing where she's like pulling her shirt off and trying to like stand sideways, like with the mirror and like see like what's going on, like with her back.
You see it, they see it. There is a massive handprint on your back. It is drastically contrasted with your skin. It is dark, black and blue. It's like a big bruise, and it is in the shape of a hand.
Weaver, you see that, right? Oh God, it hurts so freaking bad. What? And she's just like, what is this? And she's just like, 'cause you're like rubbing your chest.
Yeah, she won't really answer you because like she's thinking about, because she heard the crunch of her sternum breaking, and so like that's kind of like on loop in her head, like this broke, like I was stabbed. So she's kind of freaking out because it's not aligning with what's happened in reality, and it's kind of healed over. And so she's kind of ignoring you as she's like kind of rolled off the side of the bed. She's on her hands and her knees as she's digging through her bag, and she's getting different clothes because she knows we got to get the fuck out.
Yeah. Meanwhile, because this is happening more or less immediately, Ray's pulled out her laptop and is modifying the booking details of her room.
Okay, give me a computers test. Weaver, you're go ahead and going, and you're getting a change of clothes. That's fine. Fuller, I needed a sand test from you for that.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, you need a sand test. The rest of you, the other two of you don't from seeing, because she didn't wake up. She's hawked a massive loogie, but otherwise,
I'm gonna take one audience boost if that's okay to make it.
What is your computers? Your computers might be high enough for this.
Computers is 40.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I passed with the boost.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Okay, so you're modifying it to read what exactly?
Essentially a different name than the one I checked in under. So if they say this person was in this
do
room,
that to
I don't
too, please.
Yeah, could I actually? I was going to ask if
would you all have been checking in under your real names, or would you have been checking in under covers?
I think undercover. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it might not even mean. I mean, that's the point of a cover, right? It's like you have names. So obviously, like one's. But you can go in red. You can change it if you want to preserve this particular name.
I would like to, and I would also like to run back to the room and grab Ronnie's journal, Penny's boat, and these cigars because she has no intention of going back to the room.
Okay. Yeah, you run back, you get your things. Fuller, how did you do on your sand test?
I failed 55 over 50.
All right, you're going to take...
So is that a crit?
Still just
like, is crit failing a thing on...
Yeah, it is actually. It is max. So you could take the max loss, which on this it's a D3, so you would take 3 sanity loss. And don't forget, you can burn willpower if you still have it to push this off onto bonds.
I've got 3, so I think I'll hold...
Yeah, it's not a good idea. Okay. While Fuller and Weaver are thinking about what they're doing, let's cut back to the guys. Inferno, you've gotten out of the shower, you're cleaned, and you feel raw in some ways. Like the skin is more, it's just more sensitive, and it's reddened in some places. Part of that is like the hot water of the shower, but part of it is you just peeled a whole layer or two of skin off. What are the two of you doing?
drink. Offer him an energy drink.
So here's an energy drink. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a sip. I'm feeling better now. A little tender.
Yeah, you look a little I don't know, like sunburnt or something.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I'll send a text to the other agents. Say we had another encounter. Just leave it at that.
Okay. That'll come through at some point. Okay. Anything else you guys doing?
Like throwing away all the skin and
Okay.
clothes. Yeah, just get rid of it.
I don't think we have anything we want. Are you going to go back to sleep?
Oh no.
How do you go back to sleep after that?
Yeah. Wait, what time is it? Do we wake up at a reasonable time?
It is late morning, so you're about to miss continental breakfast. However, Inferno, you can roll a d6. Weaver and Fuller, you all three of you can roll a d6. As you don't feel like exhausted in the same way that you felt before.
Nice.
As you do,
You got two.
You've got different symptoms. Some of you have pains in certain places. Some of you have different skin. Some of you look like you have the worst sunburn. Some of you have a fake stab wound. And there is a scar as you start to clear it away, Weaver, too. It's just like you don't see an actual thing there. And then you have like a huge bruise on your chest. And then Fuller, you have the giant hand mark. And it's painful. But it doesn't feel like you do feel as though like you actually got rest. Price, I need you to roll a d6, but for a different reason, as you have been smoking cigarettes and you've been drinking these
energy drinks.
These energy drinks.
Is this an improvement to willpower with these d6 rolls?
Yes, that is a restoration of willpower.
And you said that's what I'm doing too, right? You know, because I rolled a 5, so I'm gaining 5 willpower.
No. So, Price, you like kind of turn too fast at one point. Like you hand Inferno an energy drink, you bend over to maybe pick up some of the skin, and you just continue downward and sort of smack into the ground as the rushing of blood to your head as you try to pick up and help Inferno clean causes you to pass out. And Inferno, you see this.
Oh man, must have stayed up all night. I'll carry him to bed and finish bleeding.
Ooh, okay. So you carry him to bed, you lay him out in the bed. That's fine.
There's only one bed in this motel.
You guys have the king.
Ooh.
We cut over for a second to like Ray and Fuller and Weaver. You're cleaning, you're getting your stuff, and then your phones ping, and you see a message from Price. Had another a visitation event, something like that. Encounter. And that pops through.
Fuller will text back us to incident with staff. We need to leave now. And so Fuller will text that back to the group text to Price.
I'll get the notification and realize we're fine because we're not part of it, I think.
Yeah,
so
you're not in our room.
deal with
That's
it.
fair.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. All right. So then I will cut over. So while you're cleaning without issue, and Price, you've laid him down in bed. Fuller, Weaver, Ray. What are the three of you doing?
Exactly what we said, like packing stuff up, and we're going out the back way and
Okay.
getting out of the hotel.
Ray is actually going to text to them, say, the three of us are going to leave the hotel. You two should stay checked in for at least a couple hours.
Yeah, Price isn't waking up, so we'll be here for a while.
What?
You just passed out.
Okay. I am gonna stop in at the guy's room before, like, I'm not gonna leave with the room.
Sure. if Inferno lets you in, you see Price is comfortably laying on the bed in the motel, peacefully sleeping. You see there's about 100 different empty cans of Monster and various other energy drinks. There's more than about 5 or 6 packs of cigarettes, and the ashtray is completely filled up. And there's a whole mess load of skin that seems to be in the trash.
What the hell is... And she just kind of trails off, but it's very clear she's confused and kind of disgusted.
All I know is my skin molted, so here we are.
Oh my god. Yeah, Fuller and Lisa had, Blair had incredibly visceral dreams too. Blair was bleeding and Fuller coughed up something.
Sounds like you guys had an incident.
He just passed out. And she looks at all the energy drinks and they're like, but he was doing all that specifically not to pass out.
Well, sometimes when you gotta go, you go. So
No, I realize that, but she's gonna go over to him and kind of shake him.
Vin, I assume she's just start shaking Inferno. Yeah. Do you have any kind of first aid or medicine skill?
Me?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, you've got what, 10 in first aid and
yeah. My sciences are all like.
Okay. Give me a first aid plus 20. So basically roll a D100 and roll 30 or under.
Come on, roll well.
Okay.
15. Hell yes.
He, as you're kind of messing with him, like he does kind of stir a little bit here and there. He's like, and then rolls back over. He has a different look than Fuller and Weaver, like in the sense that he looks like he's just like exhaustion has caught up with him. Though, as you're looking at him, you do notice that he starts to like scratch himself here and there. You see, he just starts to like itch and then kind of wipe his hand across this or that. And he has, if you recall, dozens and dozens of like
I was
bug
just
bites
gonna ask.
And you see him just sort of scratching it. And as you're watching, you notice that more of them start to form. As we'll cut for a second. And Agent Price, don't worry, it's fast. You find yourself, or you wake up, or whatever it is, in complete and utter darkness. And I mean that. You don't see anything. Like there is no visible thing. You even hold your hand up at one point in front of you, and you can't even see it. You realize your legs are kind of numb, and it smells foul in here. And you hear the sounds of swarming insects and rodents squeaking and scratching, and they get louder and louder until it drowns out everything. You can't even hear yourself breathe anymore. You can't even feel or hear yourself like scratch at some of the wounds, and there's like no comfort whatsoever. It's just waves after waves of vermin. You feel your legs suddenly weighed down with the weight of bugs, the weight of rodents. You feel bites, you feel stings, you feel swarms, you feel stuff weaseling their way into your ear, your nose, your mouth, your eyes, like everything. You even try to crawl away, but like the weight of whatever this swarm is on top of you just kind of pins you down. And that's the dream you have. Meanwhile, Ray, you just watch as there's a couple small scrapes, a couple small bites, a couple small stings. They just manifest on his skin in front of you. I need you to roll a sand test as you see this.
Luca, I need you here.
Luca, don't listen. You don't have the sand to spare. You know what to do.
Run the other way, Luca.
Run away.
Success in the 16.
Okay. Considering everything you've seen so far, this isn't actually the strangest, so you're okay. You're holding it together. You know something's up, though. You know this is unnatural, right? Okay. What do you do? He is breathing. His heart is beating. So he's alive. But something's happening to him.
Just lost the will to be conscious.
Come over?
I'm still in the room, yeah.
Are you coming over? Because if you are, I'm going to point out the.
Long doesn't want to.
No, it's really okay if you don't. I'm just asking about what the scene is.
No, I've seen his bug bites. I've seen them before.
Okay. Maybe you should join Fuller and Blair. Then I can wait with him.
I think you need to take care of yourself. It sounds like you had an incident this morning.
You shouldn't be left alone.
I got that price right there.
And I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Said I have a price right here. I'm not alone.
No, I'm suggesting that you go and I'll wait with him.
He's like, no, this is my room.
And that's totally. And that's just what
It sounds like you need to leave this motel now.
Okay. All right. Just make sure you don't leave him, please.
I'll be around.
Okay. And she's gonna leave.
Okay.
After looking at Bryce being like, don't fucking die. And then she leaves.
Okay. Fuller, Weaver, you got your things. You change your clothes.
Yeah, and real quick, when we're still in the room, Fuller does want to look at what she hawked up against the wall. Like she does actually want to look at that.
You have fairly high biology, right? I think so.
16 biology, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You notice what looks like a whole mess load of phlegm and what looks to be a crunched up. Well, it looks like the moth, like one of the moths that you saw, and it's all crunched up and broken down and gooey and nasty from just basic. It just doesn't look like there's anything like untoward. It's like it's like when someone throws up, like the initial bit of it, but it's huge. It's bigger than probably you would imagine, and it's balled up and it's just sticking to the window, and it's just slowly, like ever so slowly, like dripping down.
Oh god! It's the moth. It's the moth, and she's like grabbing like a washcloth or something to like wrap it up and just like toss it. She's just tossing the washcloth in the trash.
Okay.
None of this bodes well, Fuller. We've got to get the fuck out.
Absolutely. This is, and she's still like, just her back is just in so much pain, and as she's trying to like bend over and clean stuff, and every time she bends over, it's just like stretching this like awful bruise, and she's like, oh, and packing everything up.
Okay. So where do the three of you go once you're done packing up your rooms?
First, Ray's gonna share with them about what happened with Vin.
Yeah, we walk and talk though, because we're heading out.
Yeah.
If we have like a car, we're gonna try and sneak out to get to the car. But if that seems too risky, then we're just gonna try and get out and book it on foot.
Yeah, I'm almost hoping, because there was a pool that we went down to, so I'm almost hoping that there's like a pool exit that isn't the same as the front desk, that we can like go to the pool and maybe like out a gate or something, so that we're not going right by the front.
The point specifically was to mention that Vin and Luca might not join us because Vin is passed out and Luca didn't say why, but he's not willing to leave that hotel room.
Oh gosh darn it. I was so exhausted. I really, really needed that rest. And I'm honestly feeling a lot better. But sleeping is just a bad idea. Sleeping has turned into a bad idea. But I really do feel so much better. Though if it weren't for this, oh gosh, that hurts. Whatever. They've been doing their thing most of the time that we've been here. So they'll catch up to us later.
Jeff, is that stealth? Sorry. Is that what
Yeah,
you said?
so as the three of you are trying to leave and you're trying to sneak out effectively without being seen, I need the worst person with stealth, and that is Ray with a 10 to roll for the group.
Can
Oh my gosh, you've got 10 for stealth?
Yeah. I told you guys I suck at physical stuff. I really do. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Can I take two
Hey.
audience boosts?
We're all good at some
Try.
things, and we can't be good at everything. So
It's fine.
you rolled a 1. Wow.
My prayer worked.
That's
It really
pretty
did.
impressive. Because the funny thing is, when you guys go out, you can see that there is a cop car, there is an ambulance, and there is a significant presence. And as you're peeking around towards the front of the hotel, not only can you see those cars, but you see that the manager that you smacked the phone out of and did all these different things is there, like kind of gesticulating with their hands and kind of pointing up to your rooms and like talking to a cop who is just like trying to calm them down. You see another car kind of calm, like there is a bunch of first responder stuff. He clearly called the cops, called 911 when he got away from you. But you three managed to sneak away into the car and you leave. Where do you go?
Honestly, just somewhere where we can lay low for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, because really we want to kind of wait till nighttime. So, and we're hungry. Like Fuller got a good night's sleep, and now she's a little bit ravenous. So yes,
Okay.
Perkins it is.
I'm fine with that. We can fast forward a bit because you said you wanted to wait until nighttime. No problem.
Buying a single coffee for 10 hours.
I have hung out in a Perkins for longer than 10 hours in one stretch. I can tell you that for sure. We had more than coffee though. Okay. Okay. So you all get away, no issues. Inferno, Price, you hang back. At some point, Price, you do get a knock on the door. And you can, excuse me, Wilmington PD, if I could beg your have a moment of your time, please. Hello.
I'll answer the door.
Yeah, and you see a kind of middle-aged man. You can see he's got like, kind of graying hair standing next to him. You can see a woman much younger, probably late 20s, early 30s, and the two of them were just kind of standing there, both dress uniform. Not dress uniform. They're both in their uniforms. Like, sorry to bother you, sir, but we're just following up on an incident that happened in the motel room earlier. In the motel earlier today, about 45 minutes ago. There's a bit of hysteria. I'm not sure if you heard it. It was just a few doors down from your own room. I was just curious if you could. Did you hear anything? Anything strange? Shouting, voices?
I had a bit of a late start this morning. I didn't think I heard anything.
I see. Do you remember at any point seeing a woman matching this description? And he kind of like reads a description of Ray, claiming to be a Federal Bureau of Investigation officer. We don't know whether or not that is in fact true or not, but we would just curious to see. So it describes her really accurately, pretty accurately.
I don't know if she described herself as FBI, but the woman sounds familiar. She's walking about. Might have seen her a couple times.
Did you say anything to her, or did she say anything to you at all?
No, we just walked our ways.
Okay, I see. And what about a woman? And he kind of turns a page and he's like looking for it, and the woman starts talking, like his partner, and she describes Weaver. Like, and this woman, what about her? She might have been with the first woman, or she could have been by herself.
Same as the first woman. Might have seen her around the hotel.
And they go into Fuller as well, but the descriptions for Weaver and Fuller aren't quite as precise as Ray. But they continue to ask about the three of them. And did any of them at any point threaten you, or did you see them engage in any kind of violence, or did you happen to be awake last night when they first came back into the room? Anything like that?
I didn't have much encounters with them. Should I be worried? Should I stay in there?
Well, no. I mean, they've cleared out. They've cleared out. We're just trying to. We're just kind of following up on a few things. We're not entirely sure what went down, but the manager is a bit spooked, is all, and has some odd observations. What about your grandfather over there? Does he? Could we maybe ask him a few questions as well?
He stayed up late last night. He's a bit out right now.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, if I can get your, if you don't mind, can I just get your name? So they want your basic name, number, that kind of thing, and a place we can reach you just in case we have any follow-up questions. And she pulls out a card and kind of hands it to you. It's all pretty standard, like rote. They don't really seem to suspect you of anything. The one thing I will ask you, though, when you were throwing away all the skin, and when you were throwing in your bed sheets, what did you do with them?
I was hoping I'd get them in bags and like throw them in the main dumpster.
Like you left the room and threw them in the bag? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna find skin in the dumpster.
Okay. So they hand over a card. They try to take your information. Do you give them like one of your covers?
Just an alibi, yeah.
What name do you give them?
Bob Kearns.
Bob Kearns. Okay.
And I'm his brother Frank.
Right?
No, it's not his brother. It's Frankie Kearns' like grandson. That's what it's got to be.
Oh,
right?
yeah. That would be right.
Well, thank you very much. We're sorry to bother you. We hope we didn't wake your grandfather up. Have a great rest of your day. And they continue on. You can hear like the doors knocking as they're like literally canvassing, asking a couple different folks on here. At a certain point,
a sigh of relief.
Yeah. At a certain point,
past them. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll say you go back in, you sit down, clean up, whatever scrubbing you want to do is fine. And at a certain point, hours later, while Fuller and Weaver or Ray are getting food, resting, going over, the Perkins, going over your notes, whatever it might be, just getting your head straight, maybe going to the bathroom, poking at your new scars, whatever it might be. At a certain point, Price, you wake up. There's not as much light coming in through the window. Your head hurts. You have way more bug bites on your arms. You feel itchy everywhere. You feel like you're laying in dry pus. Like all of these different blisters and things have popped underneath you. But you can roll D6.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. You are still quite exhausted. It's a lot harder for a man of your age to come back from.
I'm in my late 40s.
Are you really? No way. Yeah. No, you're not.
Yeah,
you liar.
It's in my personal information.
You changed it. What?
No.
No
late 40s.
That's
this is the youngest character I run.
His picture.
Funny.
His picture in Foundry looks much older than late 40s, right?
Oh, he does.
I kind of pegged early 60s, honestly.
Thank you.
Get out of here.
Thank you. He is easily in his 50s, if not his 60s.
At least mid 50s.
Late 50s.
Picture.
Minimum mid 50s.
Silver Fox, late 50s.
If you're late 40s, you're having a hard life.
Ray is early 40s. I feel like.
That's true. You guys have all had hard lives. Yeah, for sure. But you wake up. Okay.
Rise and shine, Gramps.
Yeah.
Look what you've done.
Yes. Turn them against each other. Love it.
Oh, shit. I need a coffee.
Give him the lukewarm out of the pot. It's been sitting there for hours.
Okay.
Let's get some real food.
The gals are at Perkins.
Yeah, let's go to Perkins. Let's stop by a CVS on the way. I need some calamine lotion or something.
So you guys leave. As you leave, you notice that the cops are digging through the dumpster, and you can see that they have pulled some stuff out and have laid it on the ground, and they have set these little evidence markers down as well. And You also see that there is like a minivan or a van of some kind, like, and there's like a family, and they're like being interviewed as well by some of the cops, and they don't really pay any attention to you. It doesn't seem like the two of you are in any sort of interest right now. But you get in your car, drive away, get your get your lotion at a CVS or Walgreens,
along with
whatever.
More energy drinks for later.
Of course,
just stockpiling.
Of course, and then you eventually meet up with Fuller and Weaver and Ray. As all of you are together, it is evening or just short of it. It's like, sunset, dusk, the last bits of daylight, as the five of you have now joined up once more. All are you conscious, in pain. All of you are tired to one degree or another. Some of you have some strange welts and wounds on you, but you are all together, and night is falling. I turn it over to you. What happens now?
It's the time we sneak back into the Villagio, try and get to the basement. Maybe catch Maggie returning home.
Yeah, like there's so much stuff downstairs, and the art was just so oddly placed down there. Like I don't know what the hell we're looking for exactly. Hopefully record player or something, but we're like, I feel like this is probably the last time we're going to be able to get back in there. Like, we've got to just do something before we just bail on this town.
Yeah.
And Maddie, yeah, I hopefully if we can figure out and destroy whatever the hell is going on, maybe that'll help Maddie, and Maddie won't even know what happened, maybe. I don't know, but we're looking worse for wear, and these dreams, I can't take much more of them.
Yeah.
And what's with all the itching? And she looks over at Ben, like, what?
I've just got like white dots all over from the lotion.
Dream stuff?
Bed bugs.
I've got and she kind of describes, obviously hush voice, but she sort of describes, because was it Vin or Luca who was the other one who saw the candelabra?
Vin saw
the Hand of Glory. That was me. Yeah.
Vin saw the Hand of Glory. Yeah. I think you guys know what it is too. I think you looked it up. Someone knew it.
Yeah.
Fuller will describe that she saw it, and that and it's now on my back. Handprint on my back.
For whatever it's worth, and I don't know if it's worth anything. I think we know whose hand it is, at least. There was one of the people that died that was missing a hand. But I don't know if that means anything.
And this also definitely, then she'll describe the whole, like, being rocked like a baby, being like burped like a baby, that whole thing with the woman, and definitely
Imagine being on my birth
to kids.
Yeah. If we're going back to the building, I'll keep lookout, and I'll be as active as I can on that. But she looks so embarrassed. She's like, I'm not so good at the sneaking around part.
It's once we get inside, it's just eyes. It's just eyes and looking and sifting through
that
shit.
That I can do.
Yeah, we're in this together, and we just gotta.
Yeah, because who's to say when
destroy
we leave
stuff.
It doesn't follow?
Oh, one night, and she looks at you and agrees, but it is just sort of in this annoyed, like, one night at a time. One night at a time.
And Ray, you would likely know. Vin wouldn't like bring this up in conversation or anything because it would be like weird and out of place. But Ray, you would know that like working with Vin before. He's pretty good at the stealth parts. So like if we ever had missions or something, like he would take point on that.
Yeah. She said that out loud specifically for Vin to be like, yeah, no, it's fine, I got you.
He's not willing to offer much right now.
No,
but yeah.
no, but I think she knows Vin is good at that stuff.
Okay.
I need to smoke.
Yeah.
You have them. You're at Perkins. They probably still sell them. So you guys
machines.
All right,
get some food,
well,
get some cigarettes, and then you guys head back.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, after dark.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so we'll say that you
Can
guys
figure out
arrive.
what to do when we get there, or do we know what we're looking for?
We're just sneaking. We're just sneaking into the basement. I think we know how to get to the basement, and we're sneaking and lockpicking and whatever we need to do to get it.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll say it's like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or do you want to wait even longer?
I think
That's fine.
9 to 10 sounds right.
9.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You guys arrive. It is weeknight. There's a handful of parking spaces along the street, but then there's all these little lots and stuff nearby that you can park in as well. Is somebody Ray? Are you like parking outside as a lookout, or are you actually coming in?
I'm coming in, but I would like to bring up the rear so that if there's anyone that sees and wants to stop and talk, I'll do that.
Okay. You can see that the section where the window, I should say, where Robert Dorder was thrown out of or fell out of or whatever happened, has been boarded up. You can see that there's like the yellow tape. You can see that there's like a cleaned up area. There's still like traffic cones, or they don't want anyone driving on this particular section. He kind of landed like half on the street, half on the sidewalk. So you can see that they've kind of cordoned that off a little bit. Most people, if they're going down that direction, are being, or get routed to the other side, that kind of deal. So like you can tell that there's a section right outside that no one's really walking or riding over top of. There's no apparent immediate price inferno. Your alertness is so high. You don't see any any cars in the street that suggest that they are like actual patrol cars. Likely though, someone does patrol. Inferno, you would know that firsthand. I'll assume that you all park some distance away so as not to draw too much attention. When you get up to the door, and all 5 of you are together, obviously you probably wait a little bit, just kind of keep an eye out before you move up. The door is locked. Now, most of the time that you've come up here, like half the time it's locked, half the time it isn't. And sometimes people just hold the door open for you. They don't. You can see the lights are on inside. But you all do have Ronnie's keys. And because you have Ronnie's keys, you're able to get in. Otherwise, it would be quite difficult. So you go inside. First thing you see to the left.
I thought you were going to point out I'm actually here with my lock picking skill for once.
If you want to roll it.
No. We get the keys.
Okay. So you can see off to the left as you come in is the mailbox area. You can see off to the right, it does look like there's been some little kind of makeshift like control center set up. No one's there, but you can see that like they have sort of cordoned off a section of the lobby, and like they've put up these little spokes and things like that to separate it. It's very quiet in here as you come inside, and you don't really hear much. You look straight ahead, you see the lights kind of flickering overhead. You can see down the hall to where the where the elevator is. You can see where Todd Beach's apartment is. You can see the stairs that would go down into the basement. And as you start moving in that direction, the silence is broken up by the sounds of click, click, click. And it sounds like a heel, like a woman's heel, like hitting like the floor. And you see descending down the stairs from the first floor. Inferno, Weaver, you recognize her. It's Lila Starrett. And she's descending kind of in this leisurely but very like steady pace. She is dressed in black It's like full funeral attire. She's got like a wide brim hat on and everything, and a veil. And she shouts down at you all. She says, "Stop! Stop this instant. I forbid you all to enter the building. And I'm going to have you arrested for trespassing."
It's too late for this, Tyler.
Too late. Is it now? I think you've gotten enough people killed. Don't you think?
We're here to stop the killings.
You see, she reaches into her bag and she pulls out a gun and she kind of points it directly down at the group of you. Now, you're all like right there in the middle of the lobby. She's a handful of stairs up from you. And you guys hear as she says, "No!" The door to Todd Beach's apartment cracks open. And you see his bearded face and his flannel button down, which is unbuttoned. You can see like his white, undershirt underneath it as he kind of steps out. He's got like socks on. He doesn't even have his shoes on. He's like, everything okay? Everything okay out here, Mrs. Starrett? And she's just staring at you all. Like she turns her head, but her eyes kind of never leave you. And she's like, "Yes, Todd." And he like looks over at you all and he looks up at her. He looks really confused. And he's like, "Should I call the police, Mrs. Starrett?" And she's like, again, still looking at you all, turns her head so her voice kind of goes towards Todd. She's like, "Yes, Todd. And the fire department? And an ambulance." "Yeah, an ambulance? Are you hurt, Mrs. Starrett?" "Oh, it's not for me." And then you watch as she turns and she shoots Todd Beach right in the leg. You see the leg explode in blood, and he's like, "Ah!" And he falls down to the ground. This otherwise white and black tile is now coated in red, and she whips the gun right back at you at almost like preternatural speed. And he's like on the ground in pain. "You idiots. Fools. All of y'all think you just know everything. But you know nothing! You only see the shadow of the smoke, not the smoke itself, or the fire that causes the smoke." And she's like shaking with anger. "Not what fueled the fire, let alone that which started the fire in the first place. You know nothing." And then she takes the gun, she puts it into her mouth, and she pulls the trigger, and you see her head explode behind you. And you see on the wall, this white wall, you see blood and viscera and brain matter, and her body flops to the ground. You see it cascade down the stairs a couple. And then a few of you start to hear music playing from somewhere upstairs, this waltz. Inferno, Price, both of you have very high alertness. You smell smoke. Those of you are just like about 10, 12 feet away from Todd Beach, who is, what the fuck? Oh my God, my leg. Oh, God damn it. What do you guys do?
Be able to take care of Todd. I'm going to run
Rhea's
past.
running over to him reflectively.
Okay. You slide over towards him. You can go ahead and you take a look at him. He's been shot in his leg. You see blood is spurting up out of his leg. He's like been shot just above his knee. You're not sure if like a femoral artery got nicked or not, but it's just spurting. He's like,
Her first thought is to make a tourniquet. No idea if it's gonna work, but that's what
pull the belt out, kind of do the classic thing. Sure.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Inferno? You said you were running. Where are you going?
Running past upstairs to the music, fire.
Price would be going.
Okay. Price, Inferno, you run up. You literally have to like hop over top of the dead body of of Lila Starrett as it's lying there, and you pass by the dripping bits of her brain matter. You can see like her hand is like still kind of shaking and twitching as it's still coming to a stop, and she's almost like a slinky, just still ever so slightly one after the other until finally coming to a rest. The two of you hop up. You get up the stairs up to the first floor, or second floor, I should say. Both of you, again, you have very high alertness and you smell smoke. And not only that, but you see smoke coming down from the floor above. Like you can see the next set of stairs. You can see there's smoke coming down. Weaver, Fuller, what are you two doing?
Todd, who the fuck is home? And she's gonna...
Like everybody, it's like 9 o'clock on a Thursday. Oh, God.
She's...
Oh, God. Get Miss Mary. Oh, God. She's going to need help. And he's just
and
yeah.
She's going to go and start banging on doors and telling people to get the fuck out of the building.
Do you go upstairs or do you stand down? There's now, again, I gave you guys the list of the apartments and stuff like that. You know, there's one or two apartments in here. One of those is Todd's. Obviously, he's aware of
two others on the first floor.
Okay, do you start down here or do you run upstairs with an Inferno and
She's
Price?
Lisa's gonna go upstairs to Miss Mary because she knows she's up there.
So
and she's
Weaver,
need help.
You run after, and you're just a couple steps behind Inferno and Price then. Fuller, what are you doing?
Fuller will hear that and we'll go upstairs to the second floor.
Okay, so you run up to the second floor again. You're just a handful of steps behind. So Inferno, Price, you get there first. You can see as you're here, there is like heavy smoke now coming down from the second floor. You don't see any fire, but you can tell that there is like heavy amounts of smoke coming down to the point where you go, you have to cough just a little bit. It kind of gets into the back of your throat. You look around on the second floor, and to remind you, second floor has Kurt Winter. It has Bridget and Naomi. It also has another couple that you I don't think you really talked to. Oh no, you did actually. Jay Waller and Tanya, who was out. And then this was also the empty apartment as well. So the four of you are here. Ray, you're tending to Todd Beach. What do the four of you do? And I would say Fuller and Weaver, now that you're on the second floor, you also hear the music. You can hear suddenly this waltz, this dun, 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 dun,
What the fuck is that? And Lisa's like yelling this at Inferno and Price.
Not even bothering to respond. I'm ripping pieces of my shirt off to make like a covering for my mouth, and I'm still going up.
Okay, so you run up to the third floor, we'll say. Okay, Inferno, what do you do?
Yeah, we don't know what this is, but get these guys out of here. Well, follow Price.
Okay, so the two of you go up to the third floor. Fuller, Weaver, you're still on the second floor. You look around. The first thing you notice is that the apartment to Kurt Winter, his door is open. It's not like fully open. It's open just a crack. It's just kind of hanging there a little bit. What do you two do?
So Fuller will stay on this floor. And so the first thing she'll do is go to Kurt's and she's kind of yelling as she runs down the hall, everybody out, everybody out. And she's going to go into Kurt's apartment since the door is open.
You push the door open. You go inside. There's no smoke. It doesn't look like there's a fire in here. Like there's no greater, it doesn't look like there's flames, anything like that. But you don't see Kurt. You're yelling in here. He doesn't respond. One of the things you do notice as you first come in, you look to the kitchen to the right, you can see right there on the countertop, clear as day, is his phone and his keys. And you can see that right next to you, like right next to the door, you can see his sort of shoes are lined up there. Like everything that you would think he would have for leaving is like right in here. And you call out to him, he's not there. Weaver, what are you doing as you're out in the hall on the same floor?
She's running up to the third floor.
You're following Inferno and Price?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're running up after. Okay, so then back with Ray. Ray, I need you to roll a first aid test. Okay, so give me that first aid test. I'll come back to you in a second. Inferno, Price, you get up there a little bit faster.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Inferno, Price, you get up to the third floor and you now see flames. And you look down the hall and you can see there's this orange glow coming from Ronnie's apartment, and you can see a flicker of flame too. The not only that, but the smoke itself is it's blacker, it's thicker. Like you actually have to bend down. Your eyes are starting to water a bit, and you can see that definitely the source of the flames seems to be Ronnie's apartment. You know that a little bit further, like one apartment further along is Robert Dorder's. That's the one where the guy jumped out. You know that across the hall from Ronnie was Maddie Mercier's apartment, and you know that across from Robert Dorder's is Mary Morangello, that old woman that you scared when you first arrived in this apartment. So Inferno, Price, we'll start with you. What do you two do?
On the way up, was there an emergency extinguisher anywhere?
You notice as you've come up, you have, in fact, on every single level, there has been a fire extinguisher and there has been a fire axe as well. What do you want to do?
I'll grab an extinguisher and see if I can keep the flames down a bit.
You grab the extinguisher and are going to go over to Ronnie's apartment?
No, I'm going to go towards Marangello.
Okay, so you start moving in Marangello's. Okay, Price, what are you doing?
I think I would have headed towards Ronnie's apartment, but seeing Luca with the fire extinguisher, think, okay, we got to slow down, think this through. I would grab the other fire extinguisher because, like he said, he was grabbing one on the way up, so I'd grab the one on this floor. Okay. And I'd go back to Ronnie's apartment.
Okay, so you go back to Ronnie's apartment, and you can see that there's like the door itself is off the hinges, like it's swelt and like buckled under the heat, and you can see that there's a little bit of room at the very top, a little bit of room at the very bottom. You can see the paint has begun to peel. There's this significant amount of heat coming off of this, and there's this thick black smoke that is pouring out of the top and the bottom. What do you do, Price?
Vin definitely saw the movie Backdraft. But he's gonna try and open the door anyways.
Okay.
Probably not putting his hand on it. Okay. He would try to kick it.
Okay. Give me a strength test. Strength times 5. And this is not about pass or fail, but just how many kicks it takes for you to do this. This is more like a timer thing.
Looking for a 65, rolling 37.
Okay. So first kick, the door just pulls off the hinges. You see that peels off. It goes scattering across the floor, and you see that the entire apartment is just up in flames. There's boxes all over the place. It looks like someone was in here, maybe like packing some things up here and there, but you can see all of it's in flames. And you can see that some of the furniture, some of the shelves, a lot of his books, etc. What do you want to do when you see this opening up?
She kept talking about the source of it, so I want to go where I think it looks the hottest.
Okay.
Just obviously, I'm not a fire expert, but wherever it looks like it started.
Give me a search test.
Okay, 50 on that.
Yep.
63 fail.
Okay, that's all right. It's more going to be about time than pass or fail. So you plunge into the apartment and you start looking around, and you can see flames. Like the furniture has burst into flames, walls have burst into flames, curtains, etc. As you start moving around and looking, you see the ceiling is just red. It's that kind of like that wash, that moment from Backdraft where you just see this like sheath of fire as it's just like raking across the ceiling. You also notice a body on the ground in what looks like the bedroom, right at the base of one of the shelves in the bedroom, just laying there on the ground. We'll come back to you in a sec. Ray, how did you do on your first aid test down by Thigh Beach?
Failed with the 75.
You've seen it in movies. You maybe took a first aid training at NASA. You've done the best you can, but you're not a doctor. Like, it's still bleeding though. And you'd be like, I don't feel so good. I didn't call the ambulance yet. I feel. You're an FBI agent, aren't you? He kind of like reaches up for a second and almost like he's like kind of playing with your hair for a bit. What do you want to do?
Oh Jesus! With one hand, I'm gonna try and put like pressure on this. I honestly have no fucking idea what to do. Okay. And with the other hand, pull out my cell phone and send text to Kurt Winter and Ben Schlatter with the 2 numbers that I have. Get out of the building. If you're in the building, there's a fire.
Okay. Inside Kurt Winter's apartment, Agent Fuller, you see on the counter bzzz, as the phone buzzes, but it's not answered. There's no one here, but you see it just kind of vibrate as it doesn't have a sound, and just sort of moves ever so slightly. Weaver, out in the hall in the 3rd floor, you watch as Inferno grabs, like probably on the second floor on the way up, he grabbed one of these fire extinguishers. He's running towards Miss Marangello's. Agent Price, you see, grabs the one on the 3rd floor, and he plunges right into Ronnie's apartment. Weaver, what do? And you still hear the sounds from somewhere further up in the building. What do you do, Weaver?
She's gonna grab the fire axe and she's gonna head over to Maddie's apartment.
Okay, absolutely.
And start banging on it. And then if she doesn't get a fast enough answer,
oh, you're gonna knock on it first?
Yeah, okay. She'll bang first to see if she gets an answer.
You knock. Never a reply. You shout, you scream, you shout, you scream.
Yeah, she's
never
gonna start
reply.
hacking that door open.
Give me a strength test. This is pure strength times 5.
My strength is bad. 30%.
That's all right.
93.
Okay.
Fail.
It's taking a while. It's just going to take a while. That's all it means. That means you're fit. It's just like the first one, you kind of get in there and it takes a little bit longer. They'll pull the blade back out and you do it again and again. And all the while, the entire hallway is filling with smoke.
Yeah.
Over and over again. Inferno, you get over towards Miss Morangello's door and you can see like the apartment itself doesn't appear to be on fire because it's on the wrong side. It's on the same side of the hall as Maddie Mercier's. It's the other side of the hall where Ronnie's apartment is, where Robert Dorder's is. That whole side is just on fire. You can see Robert Dorder's is burning. You can see like there's all this police tape that has started to melt and kind of congeal against some of the wall here and there. There's these huge black swaths and these blistering that's starting to happen. And it's just a handful of feet from you across the hall. And you're right at Morangello's apartment. What do you do, Inferno?
Morangello, let's get you out of here. And I'll knock on it. If she doesn't come, I'm going to bust it through.
Roll a luck test to see if she hears, because she does not have your preternatural alertness.
Crit 11.
Okay, fantastic. She opens the door. What is it? So I'm trying to sleep, and she's got looks like she has a mask on, like one of those like kind of facial masks on. She's got some hood over top of her curlers. You can see that she has like a coat on as well, like an old fashioned nightclub. Oh God, it smells awful out here.
The building's ablaze, Mayor. We gotta get you out of here.
What? Oh God! It's you! You're the scary man. What is going on? Oh my God!
The building's on fire.
It's on fire. What do you do, Inferno?
I'll slightly drag her out. Help her out.
Slightly drag her out. Okay.
If she resists, I'll force her, but I'll help her out.
She's an old woman. Even if she did, you're okay. Okay. Do you just grab her and go?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a strength test as you grab her and go.
Strength test.
Yeah, just strength times 5.
I have an 80.
Yeah.
42.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
She's like, oh my goodness, get off me. What? Oh my God. Oh my hip. Oh God. As you pick her up and you start just running her out, like you just run
running downstairs.
Fireman toss and down you go. Perfect. Okay. Fuller, let's check back in with you. Last we saw the phone was buzzing on the countertop. You don't see Kurt. What do you do?
I'm checking bedroom, bathroom, like anywhere else.
Bathroom.
Kurt.
You look around the entire apartment. You are convinced he is not here. His stuff is here. It doesn't look like you even see his laptop, his work bag. It looks like when you like his like right over the coffee table in his living room, you can see his laptop is up. The screen is on. Like you can tell he's been in here recently, but he's not here now.
She really doesn't have time. So he's not here. She does want to look for that the moth thing was hanging on the wall. She does want to snag that.
Yeah. You can see the case for it, but you don't see the moth inside of it.
I'm going to grab the case just for probably no particular reason. And then she wants to, because Bridget and Naomi are on this hall. So Kurt wasn't in here, no one to warn here. So she's going to go to 7 and 8 still need to be checked. And 8 is Bridget and Naomi. Okay.
So you go over to 8, you knock on the door and like a hairy woman in her 30s that looks like she just got off a shift. She has what looks like a collared shirt and it's got like the logo of like a restaurant on it. You can tell she's a server. She just got off and it's past 9 and she's like, what is it? My God.
There's a fire. There's a fire in the building. There's a fire in the building. We're getting everybody out. Getting everybody out.
What? Naomi. Oh my God. Naomi, get out here. Get out here right now. oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you can see, like, as you look behind you, Fuller, like the smoke is really starting to fill the second floor now, whereas before it was like the third. Now it's really starting to sweep down in. And she turns back, she leaves the door open to her apartment, and she rushes back into her apartment, and she's just like going around. She's like checking like these little where the hell? Now is not the time. Now is not the time. What do you do, Fuller?
And Fuller will follow her in. Naomi, we gotta go. And so she'll follow her in and help her.
Roll a search test.
Oh.
Search.
All right. I'm taking a plus 10 for this, so I'm rolling under 72, and I rolled a 34.
Yes.
You find her as you kind of run in. She is like, there's like this little like refrigerator nook, but the nook itself is a little bit bigger than the refrigerator, and you see her kind of just tucked in there behind it, and she's just there, and she's looking at you. What about Grandma?
I found her, and she's just gonna come on. We're looking for everyone. We're looking for everyone. We'll look for her too. We gotta go. And so she's gonna try to kind of coax her out, kind of to hand her over to Mom.
So you coax her out a little bit. She's like 9, she's 8, 9, something like that. So you don't not like, and you Bridget kind of, oh my God, no, it's not the time to hide. And she like reaches past you and grabs her by the wrist and just starts like pulling, and the two of them run out of the apartment. And the whole time she's like calling back to you, Fuller. She's like, find Grandma, Grandma.
Yeah. Okay. We'll look for her. And then there's number 7. Is there someone in number 7 on this floor?
Right next to it, right across you knock on the door a bit. No answer.
Fire. And she's going to try to kick the door.
Give me a strength test. Again, you will be successful. It's just how long it takes.
23 under 55.
You get there really fast. You kick 2-3 times right where the handle is, and it splits, and the door pushes in, the frame splits open, and you see a dark apartment. Like all the lights are off.
And she'll flip lights on. Anybody? There's a fire. And she'll start just flipping lights on.
You call. You don't hear any response. No movement. You think maybe they're not home.
Okay. And she would consider that done for the second floor.
And you turn around and you continue elsewhere. All right, Agent Ray, we're checking with you. He is looking terrible. You texted Fuller. What do you want to do?
Oh, Jesus. I don't feel like I can leave him. Oh, fuck. I can't think of anything else to do except apply pressure and try to stop the bleeding. So I'm gonna say to him, Mr. Beach, Todd,
yeah,
we need to get you out, okay?
I'm the super of the
yeah, I know. We need to get you out, okay? Can you put your arm around me? We're gonna go out.
Oh, I don't even know you that well.
No,
all right.
And I'm gonna try and I'm gonna do my best to in whatever way I can, try to move him out of the building.
You're going to do the same thing that Luca did, just not with an older
not
woman
well,
a little
just
bit of
not
weight.
well.
give me a strength test and again, this is just for speed. This is not for success or fail. This is just for speed. Okay.
Strength.
Okay, excellent.
It's a success.
Nice.
You get him out. You the door kind of sticks a bit, but you kind of kick it open, and you're out on the stoop. You're there for maybe 10 seconds when the door opens and you see Agent Inferno with an extinguisher in one hand and an old lady in the other. And they're like, put me down, you brute! Oh my God! As the two of you are on the front stoop, what do you guys do?
Set her down. Take care of her.
Okay.
Oh, my hip. Oh, I think it's broken. Oh, it hurts so bad.
It's right. If Luca's running back in, I'm gonna stay out here and try to calm her down.
Okay.
It's okay, Miss Orchard. It's okay.
Okay, so you're just she's like, oh, it's gonna be Wait a second. How do you know my name? And then we're going to cut.
Because of
We cut into Ronnie's apartment where we see Agent Price, flames around. They're just getting thicker, more vibrant. And you see a body laying on the ground. There's boxes all around. All of this is on fire. You're starting to cough. You're feeling the heat, sweat. You can even see some ash marks and stuff starting to show up on your beautiful white jacket. What do you do, Price?
Go into the body.
Okay.
I'm guessing that it's going to be, what's his name? Kurt.
Okay. You go over to the body. You roll it over. It is a man. It is not Kurt, though. You do not recognize him.
Quickly fumbling, sweating, dripping, trying to pull out my cell phone, trying to very quickly snap a picture of the man's face.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Do you have like any first aid or medicine or anything like that?
Yeah, I got a 10 in first aid.
Okay. You can give it a roll. Plus 20.
I got nothing.
Just roll. It's 30 under. This is not hard.
That's a crit fail.
Okay. Yeah, he's dead.
I thought so.
He's very, very dead. Okay. What do you do next?
Knowing that he's dead and cannot be saved whatsoever. Also knowing that this is not where the music is coming from, I'm going to back out of the apartment and go up another floor.
Okay. So you start running up to the 4th floor. When you get up here...
Grabbing another fire extinguisher, too.
So now you have dual wielding fire extinguishers. You're on the 4th floor. The smoke is heaviest that it's ever been. I need you to roll a con ×5 roll, please.
I'm a smoker, so I think I should get a bonus on this.
Sure. Give yourself plus 10.
All right, I'll take 2 audience dice too, because my con sucks since I'm a smoker.
Oh, God.
Take the 10 back. I'm not giving it to you if you're going to do that.
Yeah, you don't get all of the things.
You don't get to double dip that shit.
Okay, so with the 2 audience dice, I needed a 65. I rolled an 18.
Okay, you're keeping it together. You know that prolonged exposure in here because of the thickness in the fire, everything's aflame. Like you can see, excuse me, everything's kind of covered in smoke, and you can see the floor is like the fire from the 3rd floor has started to ripple up here a bit. It's not like fully emblazoned yet, but you can see the floor itself has started to buckle here and there. There's these little dips. Where like some of the tile and the carpeting here and there that's in these different hallways is starting to melt. Like the linoleum, you can see it starting to curl. You can see some of the carpet starting to blacken. Tons and tons of smoke. You still hear the sounds of that music. Certainly not coming from the 4th floor. You do know that there are 2 apartments in here. Both of them look to have their doors closed. You know that one of them was the college kids. You see that there's a little vent near their door that you had crawled into before. It is closed. Nothing untoward about it. What would you like to do?
Are you trying to get me in another vent?
No, I'm not. I'm just giving you all the information because you have ridiculously high alertness.
I'm going to kick in the door to the college dudes, yell fire, and try to get them moving. I'm not actually going in. I'm not waiting for them to respond either.
Okay, roll a strength test. See how fast this takes. How many kicks?
37 under 65.
1 kick, old man strength. Boom! The door just rips open, and you scream. You scream, like I said, you scream into the apartment, and then you go off in a different direction. Okay, let's check back in with Weaver. Weaver, last we saw you were hacking into Maddie Mercier's apartment, and it takes 7-8 swings, but eventually you get the door cut enough where you can reach in, unlock the door, push it open, and you now have access to it. It is dark. It doesn't look as though anyone is probably currently here, or if they are, they're sleeping.
She's going to start flipping lights on, and she's yelling, fire, fire.
Yeah. You're yelling fire, fire. You see there's no immediate response. You look around and the smoke filled. Everything's now smoke filled. Everything's just gray everywhere at this point. But you see usual stuff, clothes, jewelry, stuff like that, kind of on various places. A computer set up. There's a TV with a really like kind of kind of clunky looking entertainment center. There's some very simple furniture. Like you can tell a lot of this stuff is probably bought secondhand.
Considering she found Maddie's picture in the camera, she's gonna head. She wants to see if she can find her, and if she's not here, that's gonna solidify that she's involved somehow. So she's gonna go straight to the bedroom to see if she's asleep, and then if not, she's gonna just kind of bail on the room, I guess. Or
yeah, you run into the bedroom. There is no one there. Bed's unmade. There is on the table next to it, there's like an incense burner that's in the shape of a skull. There's like a little metronome, and you can see like there's like a Venus flytrap planted. And then you can see there's like a stack of like CDs and like an old fashioned kind of like CD player, like almost boombox kind of steel CD player sitting up as well. There's a poster on the wall of Susie and the Banshees as well, that you can see has already started to peel a bit. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think considering that there is the fire, she will kind of like run out of there.
Look for a moth. Look for a moth on your right. Did you see?
Okay, I am looking for a creepy moth.
Yeah, you look around. You do not notice any creepy moths, unfortunately, though. That is not something you see. You're definitely getting a goth vibe just looking at some of her music collection, but you don't see anything like that. No.
Okay, and the computer wasn't like on or anything?
No.
Okay,
no.
yeah.
And there's a bunch of like books. There's like textbooks.
Is
and stuff,
there
like
any
nursing
photography bullshit?
Nope. Nothing
Okay,
like
cool.
that.
All right.
Nope.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
she'll leave the room.
Okay. Let's check back in then with Agent Inferno. You've dropped off Mary Morangello out on the stoop with Agent Ray, and you run back inside. What do you want to do, Inferno?
Let's see if I can track down the music, where it's coming from.
Okay. You race upstairs, and as you start racing upstairs, you realize like the smoke is thicker and thicker, where when you first arrived on the second floor, when you first came up here, it was kind of thin. Now it's thick. You get to the third floor. This is the floor where Ronnie lives. It is black. You start even to push up to the fourth floor. It's even thicker up here to some degree, and you can start to see that some of the floor itself is kind of flickering. Even the steps as you go up them feel a little loose and wobbly just from the excess heat. You're sweating like crazy over and over. You're just like dripping sweat onto the ground. As you get up onto the fourth floor, you can see there's Agent Price just finished kicking open the door to this college kids, and kind of screaming. I need you to roll a contest, Inferno, as you come up in here.
8 to 65. I rolled a 13.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
You're also keeping it together. The two of you, high alertness, you are very familiar with this place. You have torn down and ripped open and torn down this fake wall multiple times. You are fairly certain that the music is not coming from the college student's apartment or this other apartment that's sitting over here untouched. But you're fairly certain it's one level higher.
I'll remove this door down again. Get through it.
Okay. So you guys start pushing
While
up
he's
even
doing
further.
that, I want to go to the other apartment, kick it down, yell fire again. I didn't expect the music to be in there. I'm just trying to evacuate.
That's fine. Go ahead and give me a strength test.
That is a 6. My dice are on fire tonight.
You are on fire tonight, just like this
Nice.
building.
Oh!
You again, old man strength. Door comes. You kick it open. You scream in there.
Again,
you
I'm
see
in my
like
40s.
you see a man like just like leap up off of the couch. Like you can see that he's got these noise canceling headphones on, and you can tell that he was maybe like drowsy or kind of sleeping, and he kind of what and he looks to maybe be in his 30s, like Asian American. He kind of pulls the like what I don't have anything.
There's a fucking fire. Get out of the fucking building.
What there's a fire. The building's on fire. Holy shit.
And I'm already gone.
Okay. And so then Inferno, at this point, you managed to take the sort of the false wall down for you in Price. Or remember, like you kind of this false wall leads towards the other apartments on this floor that aren't open, and it also kind of leads up to the next level as well.
Remember not to damage it so we can put it back like we didn't go through.
Okay. Okay, let's check back in before we go any further with Fuller. Fuller, where are you headed next? The last we saw you, you were running out of the second floor upstairs to the third level. I think that's what you're doing.
Fuller would go probably like she cleared the second floor and she knew other people were clearing the third floor. So I think she would head to the fourth floor because we were kind of dividing the floors up and the music was coming from high up.
And I'm perfectly fine to say that the time it took you to help Naomi and Bridget get out and break down the other door is probably roughly the same time Weaver took to search quickly through Maddie's apartment. So the two of you might run into each other in the hall, both coughing. You run up to the fourth floor. You see Price yelling into this person's like get the fucking building's on fire. And then he kind of turns and Inferno is like ripping down this false wall. I need both Fuller and Weaver to roll contests as the smoke is getting so thick. Not only that, you can start to see that the floor is very much starting to bend from the heat.
51 under 65.
Both of you pass? Okay, both of you are hanging together. Let's check back in with Ray. Ray, the door opens to the building and you see coming out is Bridget and Naomi. And you can see like Naomi, who's like 8 years old, is just sort of crying and she's kind of freaking out. The mother's kind of panicking. And then she just kind of looks around with only single mom, with total single mom energy. Did anyone call the fucking fire department? Why aren't they here yet? And just kind of screaming out at everybody on the stoop.
Ray is running in, pushing past her, and just going to the first floor, yelling over and over again, fire, 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 and banging on all the doors. Not trying to break anything down, just like making as much noise and being as much of pain as possible.
I like it.
Yep, apartment 1 and 2.
Okay, so as you come in, and you just push past her. You just hear her as the door closes. What the fuck is? Fine, I'll do it. And like you think that she's probably calling the fire department, which is going to happen one or the other as the flames are starting to be much more and more visible. Smoke is starting to pour out of the windows. If no one in the building does it, somebody else will very soon. On the ground floor, this first floor here, you can see like there's that streak of blood where you had helped Todd Beach out. And you can see that Lila's body is still just sort of there, blood dripping down the stairs. You start knocking on the doors. One of them opens up. The first one opens up, and you can see there is a man in middle-aged. He comes out. You can see he's got this old quilt over top of him. You can see his nose is really red. Can I help you? And he kind of
the fire, you have leave right now.
What?
The fire, and I'm gonna pull him out into the hall.
And he comes stumbling out. Oh God! And he falls onto the ground, and he goes sliding through that big streak of blood from top. Oh, what is this? Oh my God! Is this blood?
Going to the other apartments. I'm not dealing with him.
You go to the next one, and you knock on this one, and the door opens up, but it's one of those chains. And you can see a woman with this, curly, almost perm-like brown hair. And she's probably in her 50s or so. And you can see she's terrified. We heard gunshots. We heard. What happened?
You need to get out. There's fire.
Oh God. Bill, we gotta get out. We gotta get out. Oh God.
Going to the next apartment.
Okay. And so they run it. And so then that's it for this floor. So you start running up to the next floor. Okay. Yeah. We're going to check back in. Inferno, you finished pulling down that false wall at this point. All of you have, you kind of look off and you can see that there are the two empty apartments here in addition to the college dudes and the one man that you just scared, Price. And then there's these two other ones that are unrented. They're damaged. You go looking around in there. Nothing in there. You look in, you see flames coming up. One of them, the whole wall has caught fire. As you can see, a hole has kind of started to fall and open up. You think you're over top of Ronnie's apartment, and the whole floor has started to cave in, and flames are kind of kicking up, and you start to see them chase up to the ceiling as well. But Inferno and Price, with your extremely high alertness, you know that that waltz is still coming from one floor up. That ruined, terrible place that was already suffering from significant fire damage when you went up there. You're fairly certain. And Fuller and Weaver, you hear it too. Like it's clear as day at this point.
I'll be running up then.
Okay.
Price
Is
would
that how we
start
get
to
up?
run up and then stop and turn.
Mhm.
Fuller. There's a body in Ronnie's apartment. You could autopsy it.
No, we're doing the music. We're just go.
No, I mean get the fucking body. Save the body.
I'm.
And then I just
if
turn
we-
and go up the stairs. This is not the time to argue.
You don't have to do what he says. Do whatever you want.
No, and Fuller's like, no, there's music up ahead. That's where I'm going.
Did you clear the second floor? Is it?
Yeah, it's cleared. Bridget and Naomi are out. Kurt wasn't there. I don't know where he was.
Maddie wasn't in her room either. What if she's sacrificing him? We gotta go and yeah.
Okay.
Up.
You guys run up. Inferno, you're the first one up here. It is very dark. And so dark, and the smoke has started to fill that it's very, very hard to see. So basically, everyone up here, and anything that's related to sort of site-related tests is going to be like a minus 10%. Anything that's just site-related. If it's not site-related, don't worry about it. But all of you are kind of coughing as you come up. Inferno, you're looking around, and you think it's the furthest apartment. You're pretty sure. You can even see like the flicker of light coming out of it. It's like the only light you're seeing up here. Like you see this sort of orange-yellow glow that's just casting out into the middle of the hall. And it's, 30 feet or so from you. And you think that's where the sound's coming from. Price, you're the next one up right behind him, and you see it as well. And then Fuller and Weaver, you come up as well. What do you guys want to do?
I'll lead everyone towards the light.
Spraying the fire extinguishers. I'll hand one of them off, actually, since we got multiple people.
Okay, yeah. Fuller or Weaver, one of you take one. So the four of you start moving. You can feel the floor is creaking and sagging with each step. Price, you hear something that the others don't. This rustling sound. You kind of look to the left into this one of the first apartment, and you don't think so. You look to the right, you see this little side hallway that goes to another apartment. And you can see like it's just extremely dark, and you just hear, and maybe you peek, maybe you look, maybe you squint, but you see maybe about a 5-foot high wave of cockroaches and spiders and centipedes just comes pouring out of the darkness and just washes over top of you, covering your legs, covering your feet. You can see some of them get in your hair, onto your clothes, and they're all over you. You're just wiping, and they're biting. You can see like your legs are just getting torn to shreds. They're starting to bleed. What do you do? What do you do?
Fire extinguisher.
You start like smashing like a fire extinguisher, or do you
spraying and smashing at the same time?
You start spraying it. The rest of you watch out of nowhere. Price just starts spraying this fire extinguisher in every direction. And some of you are getting coated. It's getting in your eyes. It's covering. It's making it even harder to see as now there's like this mist that begins to start forming in the hall as well.
The hell are you doing? There's no. What are you trying to get rid of the smoke? Just stop it. Stop it.
I think Vin would be past arguing and communication right now. He's focused and he's just trying to kill as many bugs as he can.
Okay.
Fuller's going to try to move past him to sort of, so she's not having to like slog through all of this.
Yeah.
So she's going to just kind of
him.
push past him and try to catch up to Inferno.
Absolutely. What about you, Weaver?
I'd like to think she's got the other fire extinguisher, so she's trying
Sure.
to make sure our path stays clear to be able to leave. So like, any fire that seems to be spreading closer towards like the door.
You don't see any fire up here yet. There's no fire.
Oh,
up here yet,
none up here yet.
Yeah, not
okay,
yet. It's
perfect.
just smoke right now.
Just smoke.
Then she'll keep pushing forward and trying to get Vin to go along with her.
So the three of you are kind of pushing forward. Price is just like, you are just getting coated in these things. You're feeling your legs. You look down at your legs and you're like your pants have been cut through. You can see they're literally ripping it apart. Blood, your skin's being, kind of peeling off. You can see these huge chunks. Spiders are like embedding themselves into your calf, into your shin. You can see like this huge centipede starts to crawl over top of your boot. You can feel some of the cockroaches like still in your hair. What do you do, Price?
It's fire. I think stop, drop, and roll. Like just trying to smash as many as I can against the floor or the wall. Just losing it. Just trying to kill as many as possible in the fastest way possible.
Give me a luck test. As the three of you move forward, you hear like Price is like panicking behind you, still firing the extinguisher, and suddenly you hear a smash and you look back and you see he like drops to the ground and he starts rolling around on it. How'd you do in your luck test?
48.
You feel the floor cracking and beginning to separate, but it holds together. But as you roll around on top of it, you can feel it sag even further. Fuller, Weaver, Inferno, you're halfway down the hallway. You're near the light. You look back. You can see the floor itself has begun to tip and bend, and it looks as though Price is about to fall through it.
I'll catch up with you guys. I'm going to head back, help them out.
Okay, so you rush back. Fuller, Weaver, what do you do?
Keep going. Like we're on a clock. We've got shit to do.
The two of you move forward to the light. You turn, you look inside, and it is a living room. And you're looking into an apartment, and it is a living room. You can see a pair of upholstered chairs are flanked by wooden tables. You can see that there is a woman, late, maybe 19, 20, 21. She's got like a Bauhaus t-shirt on. You can see a couple piercings. She is in one of the chairs. On one of the tables is a hand of glory, the very thing that you saw, Fuller, in your dream, this hand. And it is a physical, sickly-looking, decrepit, old, rotten hand that is lit like it's a candelabra. You can see that on the other table, there is a Victrola. It is open and it is playing, and it is from that Victrola that waltz is playing. And in the other chair, you can see there is Kurt Winter. He's looking straight ahead, like distant, unresponsive, like past you, past everything. And the woman looks at you all, looks at the two of you, and she says, well, now you see the smoke at least. And we're going to cut down to Ray. Ray, you're on the second floor. You've been screaming fire and fire and fire, and you do see it starting to fall now. The ceiling you can see is flaking down. You can see little whiffs of like wallpaper, or you can see like some little sections of like sheetrock begin to fall. You can see the walls themselves are beginning to turn black. You see doors are open here though, Ray. You can see the door to a few of these apartments are open. What do you do?
At this point, I'm trying to find them, and I think she's doing exactly what Vin did before, which is to take her jacket off and try to create some kind of barrier for breathing.
You go to the third floor.
Her way up.
You go up to the third floor. This is Ronnie's floor. It is on fire. The second floor below, you can just see that there are flames starting to creep through the ceiling. Here, it is roaring. The entire
sorry to interrupt.
alcove,
Are there any fire extinguishers I can grab on the way?
I think the last one that would have been left would have been probably on the first floor.
Okay.
So
then
you'd have to go
it's
back down.
Too far gone. Oh,
you can see the little the section of the apartment over where all of the rooms are. it's like the whole hallway is on fire. Now the staircase isn't. The staircase is like recessed over by the elevator, so the fire hasn't quite worked its way in this direction. But you can see the apartments are roaring. Ronnie's apartment is roaring on fire. What do you do, Ray?
I'm still moving up.
You move
because
up.
if I don't see them in the hall,
you move up and you bump into somebody, and you can see that there is this Asian American man who's the building's on fire. We need to get out. He screams at you in your face, like just a couple feet from, a couple inches from your face.
Pushing past him.
What's that?
And
you just push past
him
and he just
moving.
Runs. You get up to the very top and you bump into another person. You see Ben Schlatter, who you've seen before. He's like, oh, it wasn't us. We didn't do it.
Of course it wasn't. Of course it wasn't.
Okay. And he's like, we need to get out. We need to get out. It's the smoke. And they're all coughing like horribly.
Pushing.
You just push past them. And you just roll con times 5. You, up here on the 4th floor, the thing that you notice that is different from the last time you were here is that the false wall has been torn down. And you can see the other half of the floor is visible, along with a staircase that seems to go up to the next floor above this one, to the 5th floor. You you see that like there's mostly just thick black smoke, but you also see that on the far side where the ruined apartments are that weren't being lived in, you can see the ground, like the hallway has fallen through. And you see this orange glow from below, from Ronnie's room, from Ronnie's apartment, from Robert Dorter's apartment, from Marangello's and Maddie's, has already started on one side of it. How did you do on your con?
I failed with an 80 over 65.
Take 1 point of damage, and all of your tests from here on out are at minus 10%.
Okay.
As you have started to inhale a little bit too much, and it's starting to get to you.
Makes sense. Thank you.
You go up another flight of stairs, and you see just a handful of feet from you. You see Price is thrashing around on the ground. There's this mist, this white mist in the air from a fire extinguisher, and you can see Inferno is trying to like get him, but he's trying to like, Price just won't sit still. And you, as you take a step into the hall, Ray, you just feel the whole floor sag, and like all 3 of you just dip for a moment, like to the point where Ray, you like grab the wall and have to take a step back. Inferno, Price, what are you guys doing?
Get a hold of yourself, man. I'm gonna smack him around a bit.
Okay. So you smack him around a little bit. Price, you feel Inferno punching you, but you are still covered and coated in these bugs. They're still here. You roll over a couple and you feel a crunch, but then more just come. You look down that side hallway and you see a second wave come off in your direction as well.
Which way is the side hallway leading to?
It's leading like to one of the other apartments, not the one with the light. Like, so if you think about it, there's like if there's like the staircases, there's the hallway, and then it's like the apartments are kind of split, like 2 this way, 2 that way.
Luca hits me a bit. I see that second wave, and I'm still swiping and slashing and like crushing, just like pulling things off and throwing them. And I see the wave. Oh, fuck. And I start like crawling and pulling on Luca and like crawling to pull myself up again, and start heading towards the apartment with the Victrola. Okay.
And I want to say that when he looks towards this little alcove, this other little mini hallway, and he says, "Oh fuck," Inferno, when you look over there, it's completely empty. And as far as you've seen Inferno, as far as Fuller's seen and Weaver's seen and Ray, Price just flipped out, started firing his fire extinguisher, and is rolling around on the ground like a crazy man.
I'll just help him through.
Okay. The whole time, there's these bugs nipping at you, Price. They're following you. They're coating you or covering you. Every now and then you reach back, you swat one. Ray, you see this as well. You see the big dip in the ground. You have to be very careful as you move across. But what do you do, Ray?
I am moving across. I'm trying to get across.
Okay. So you three are moving to catch up. Meanwhile, Fuller and Weaver, we cut back to you. I'm going to give you the first, you're getting the first salvo of this. She's just looking up at you. She just said, now you see the smoke at least. And she just stares at you. Hey, sunshine.
Since I said I had the fire extinguisher, I'm just gonna rush forward and try and just bash her upon the head with it.
Okay. So you start running in. I need you and Fuller to make POW tests. These are opposed. So just roll your power.
Okie dokie.
34 under 70.
Okay. Very good.
42 under 60.
Okay. As the two of you go rolling in, both of you, or I would say as Weaver goes rolling in, you charge in, you've got the fire extinguisher up, and you just freeze in the middle of the room. Fuller, I'm not sure, were you running in after her, or did you stay in the hall?
No, I was running in after her, and I want to head toward the hand.
So you chase over at the hand of glory. You feel yourself just become completely immobilized, like you're just frozen. And she just said, oh, that's a shame. I thought we could have a little girl talk for a bit first. Oh, I'm so disappointed. So very disappointed in two of you. Well, and all of you, to be honest, but the two of you perhaps most of all. Oh, well. And she kind of gets up for a moment and she kind of cracks her back a little bit. What to do with you? What to do? And it's at this point we'll say that Inferno and Price, still coated in bugs, and Ray, who's carefully moving her way down, come, and you can see this lit living room. You see Weaver has like the fire extinguisher up, and she's like charging in the direction. She got like a foot and a half into the room before she was frozen, and Fuller is right behind her as the two of them are charging, and they're just frozen in place. And you see, sitting in one seat is Kurt Winter. Standing up by one of the others is a woman that you now would probably recognize from the picture as Maddie Mercier. And for Inferno, you've seen her in the hall before as well. And Price, you saw her outside of the building once. And she's just kind of standing there. And on one of the tables is the Victrola playing the music. And on the other one, you can see there is a hand of glory, a severed, rotting hand lit with candelabra flame. And it's the only light in the room. Well,
what's going on here? What'd you do to them?
What did I do to them? Oh, well, just teaching them a little bit of manners is all. Well, hello. Oh, the old man seems to be having some trouble still. His mind was easiest, to be honest. It's all very filled with testosterone and such. Well, you all have caused me such, fun, but annoyance. And then she looks over towards Ray. Well, are you ready to come with me? I know of all of them, you're the one. Gazes off into the darkness, into the black, and she's like pointing up towards like the sky, towards like space. But I know you turn away and you stay down here where it's safe. But I know you want to know things, and I can show you everything you ever wanted to know. And you can join your friend. You can join Ronnie. I need Ray to roll a sand test.
Hell yeah, she does.
What do you feel this roll? A success of the 58.
Okay. She is certainly taunting you. obviously you can act however you want, but you know that she's not necessarily being the most open and honest about it, but she's trying to entice you. What does everyone do? Fuller, Weaver, you're still currently immobilized.
So I still see all these bugs and everything. I see the wave coming at me, but I still see everything in the room too, right?
Oh yeah. But you're just coated in bugs. And you just bites left and right. Pus.
Well, last time I saw a Hand of Glory, I was being attacked by bugs, and when it went out, the bugs went out too. Right?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So I would like to try and target my fire extinguisher at the Hand of Glory.
Okay, roll a luck test to see if anything's still in your fire extinguisher.
Okay, that's fair.
You've been spraying it quite significantly out in the hall.
Oh, yeah.
I rolled a 98.
Yeah,
no. So much for my dice being good today.
She looks at you and she says, "Oh, it's all right, honey. Happens to all the gentlemen." What do you do, Inferno?
Just hand over Kurt and we're out of here.
Oh, Kurt? Oh, no. Kurt's trying to make a decision, and I think we best let him.
Then I will try to extinguish the Hand of Glory.
Okay. And how do you do that?
How?
I'll grab someone's
you
extinguisher that's
shoot?
Lisa's holding.
Here, take mine.
You step in.
Lisa's in the room. No, Lisa's in the room.
And
Are we all in the room?
I need you to roll a POW test.
No, you guys aren't
Oh, that's fine.
in yet.
You step in, you try to grab her extinguisher. It's only like two or three steps in. I need you to roll a POW test, though, as you move forward.
Easily my worst step.
This is also opposed.
Failed 85.
Okay. All right. So I rolled really, really low. So I thought you might, as long as you passed, you would have actually beat her. But since you failed, you go to reach for it, and all of a sudden, you go blind. You just can't see anything. And you reach out and you fumble and you smash into Weaver. Weaver tips over onto the ground and goes prone. And you kind of fall a little bit on top of her as you cannot see anything. No. Yeah, it's such a shame. Such a shame. But don't worry, you have other senses. And then Fuller and Weaver, the two of you can go ahead and roll a POW test to see if you can maybe break free at this point of her little grasp ability here.
Oh, right. Come on. 67 under
cannot.
70.
67 under 70? You passed?
Yeah. Yep.
So Weaver, you're still kind of immobilized. You feel a heavy pressure. Try to move your eyes around, and I think maybe you probably see like Inferno, as his head is right next to yours, and you can see his eyes are just like white with a little tiny bit of very, very light gray right over top of where his irises should be. And you still can't move. Fuller, you start to get feeling back. What do you want to do?
Fuller was going to try to extinguish the hand, so that's what she's going to continue doing. So she's sort of like she's just going to barehand this. Like, she's just going to try to like put out the individual candles that are lit.
Okay.
So she's just like going after this thing, just barehanded, trying to put the flames out.
Yeah, give me like a dex test as you just as you try to lunge out and just kind of like smash your hands down on top of it.
53 under 75.
You reach out and you smother it, and like you kind of stumble a little bit as you're as you move over, as your limbs are kind of coming back in the motion. You kind of make the table kind of wobble a little bit, but you smother it out. Everything goes dark, and there's just like that last little bit of light just fading out. But then there's like in the corner, there's this small kind of orange flame that starts to flicker up from the floor as the fire is like starting to come up. Otherwise, it's dark in here. You just see this barely visible, like orange glow. Agent Ray, what do you do?
I have been wanting since last session to put a headshot into Maddie. So that's what I'm going to try and do.
All right.
And fueled by this fucking taunt about Ronnie.
Go ahead. Yeah. Take the shot. Roll your.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll your firearms.
Oh, come on. Come on, you got this.
Fucking hope I do. Is it melee weapons or
No,
firearms?
No, it's firearms.
Can I take 2 audience dice to make it 50-50?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
So
16.
success.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll that damage of yours. It should be programmed in if you're using the one.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know how much to do.
D10, I rolled a 3.
Okay, so you do 3 points of damage. Okay, so you fire. You're trying to get a headshot, but everything goes dark, and so you fire, and you hear, "That's not very nice." And now I need you to roll a POW test.
All right.
Come on.
Sorry.
You got this.
29 success.
You feel your arm that's holding the gun begin to wither a bit. You see the skin begin to kind of writhe, and it's opposed, so I got to roll first. Hang on. That's going to... Okay, but as it starts to twist as if it's about to pull and shrink and just turn your arm into this old husk, it just stops, and there's just a little bit of temporary pain, but you can see the skin and the muscle has kind of contorted itself, but it's stopped. And she just goes, "Oh, gosh, you're just... You people, you silly little people. You have no idea who I am. Guns, bullets. You are not as smart as I thought you were, which means you're not as entertaining as I hoped you'd be." Inferno, what do you do?
I'm gonna crawl around and listen for the music that's going on. Try to knock that over or stop it.
I think that sounds good. Just give me a dex to do it. And then Price, what are you doing?
I think there's only so much constant pain a person can take before they just feel an overwhelming need to make it stop. I don't think it would be his most heroic moment, but I think Price would just turn and try to get the fuck out of here.
You'd run?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Like, he's not able to do anything in there, and he's being devoured by these insects. He would just be doing anything. He'd jump into a fire right now to try and burn him off.
Have you... so I've been playing this how you've described it. At no point have you ever shouted out that you're being attacked by bugs. So I've been playing it that is not what Price has been doing.
No, he would be cursing, but I don't think he would be... I mean, he wouldn't think that he needs to tell people when...
Okay. All right. So all of you see Price turn and run. Well, like I said, he's the weakest mind of them all. Just like Ronnie's. Or Frank's, or, well, a dozen other names, I suppose. Oh, what's that? Oh, now he's still thinking. Kurt takes such a long time to make decisions. What is it about you? You men, always taking so very long. Weaver, give me a POW test.
My dex failed, by the way.
Okay. You stumble over, you try to knock over the Victrola, and you miss.
20?
You stumble into the chair itself.
24.
Weaver, you start to feel your feeling comes back. Your legs, your arms, all that kind of stuff. What do you want to do?
She's gonna revert back to kind of what happened during the incursion. And she's gonna reach into her pocket where she's always got this knife that she thought she killed a man with once upon a time. and she's gonna get up and try and just stab her in the neck and like get on her back like a little koala.
Go ahead. Yeah, lunge at her with the knife. Go ahead and roll your melee.
20 success.
Okay. Roll your damage.
Oh fuck. Where'd my? I never brought the knife over.
It should still be in there.
It might be like a 1d4 maybe.
They're programmed in. Just drag one over.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 1d4.
Okay.
Oh.
Just roll your damage.
Count. Yeah.
Roll your damage. Roll a d4.
2.
Okay, 2 points of damage. And so you stab right into her. You can feel like it sinks like into her neck or her hip or something. And she's just like, just small rodents. Worse than rodents, really. What do you want to do there, Fuller? You're next.
I would say Fuller is going to kind of what Inferno was trying to do. So she took out, she got the lights out. And so the next thing she wants to do is go for the Victrola.
Okay. You go with Victrola and you try to knock it over, and you knock it right over, crashes on the ground, and it smashes. And she's just like, okay, I guess you don't like music. Ray,
and
what do you
she's like,
do?
You're fucking right, I don't. She's just like smashing this thing. She's like, no, I really don't.
And you've taken away the light on the candles, and you have smashed this Victrola to bits. And she's just laughing. Agent Ray, what do you want to do?
So, my intention is to try and take out her ability to stand or move and leave her here to be consumed by the fire.
Okay.
So I'm going to just try and take a shot specifically at her leg.
Okay, sure. We'll say it's we'll increase the difficulty of this basically if you're specifically firing for the leg. So give us a roll, and since you're only rolling at 30, like the chances of you hitting are probably pretty small.
Yeah.
So, but
Can I take the audience boost, or should I not for this?
Yeah, no, you can go ahead.
Okay.
So you're rolling a 30. Okay.
Yeah, I'm rolling 50, and I got a 28.
You fire.
Nice.
Roll your damage. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry to use all the boosts. I just really wanted to succeed.
Roll your damage. Oh, I don't.
Oh, good. I got a 1. I'm so happy.
You got her right in the leg.
Oh, great.
And she's just, this is the grand plan. I've had enough. And you see her like reach up her hands, like it's in the dark. You can see the orange from below starting to lighten up. Her own like small, like 20-year-old hands kind of grow, and they become long and bonier. And you can see these lights begin to kind of flicker between them, and she just flicks them out in every direction. And I need everyone in the room, Price, you're okay, to roll a POW test.
Success 48 under 70.
Okay.
Success 10 under 60.
Okay.
Also succeed.
What's the
failure
number, though?
with an 86.
Oh, 36.
Okay.
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
No worries. And Weaver, what did you roll?
I rolled 10.
And then Fuller, what did you roll?
48.
Okay. So Weaver and Ray, the two of you lock up. Your arms just begin to, and you feel yourselves. Weaver, it's again. You just feel yourself kind of become immobile. You see the ground below you as you look down. Weaver, flames start coming up through the floorboards. Ray, you become immobilized. This is the first time for you. You just feel like the gun just it's in your hand still, but you try to move your finger and it just won't squeeze. But Inferno and Fuller, you're both okay. As she rolled success, but she beat your score there, Weaver. But Inferno,
she beat my 10.
Well, yeah, it's what's it called? Blackjack rules.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why rolling low isn't like super great all the time. Okay, so I need Price as you're running away to give me a dexterity test as you're running and you're trying to like flee.
All right. Dexterity. Oh, I'm good at this. Okay. Looking for an 80. Rolled a 78.
Okay. So you take one step, you feel the floor begin to give away, but then you kind of leap over top of it and you land essentially at the very top step of the stairs going down, and you watch as behind you the entire floor gives out. And once that patch of ground where you just leaped over falls, you can see fire is just kicking up below. And you watch as like this cascading effect as chunk after chunk after chunk of the entire floor just begins to peel away from the staircase all the way down the hallway, past the room where you saw your fellow agents, into the exterior wall of the building. As the hallway is completely ripped free, you can see the walls of some of these rooms are beginning to fall down into what looks to be this roaring fire. What do you do, Price?
The fire, the flames coming up, I feel the heat. Does it have any effect on these insects whatsoever?
No. If you would like, if like you're really starting to try to question it and make sense of it, you can roll a psychotherapy test. Try to talk as it starts to occur to you, like, why aren't they being affected by this? You don't even recall seeing the dead bugs on the ground.
No, that's a 50 over 10.
You don't understand why they're not kind of getting burnt away, but like they're still like crawling over top of you. You can still see them burrowing into your skin left and right.
Yeah, I think I would keep running down the stairs.
Okay, keep running. Back in the room, Ray, Weaver, both of you are standing over top of these portions of the floor. You hear the creaking of the ground behind you. You look over your shoulders, those of you who can still move, and you see the entire hallway has wrenched free. You start to see that the floor of this apartment that you're in is starting to undulate with the interior hallway, like where you're just a couple steps from, is starting to tip down. You can feel the whole floor starting to give at this point. Weaver and Ray, both of you unable to move, like you're sinking and sinking, but Fuller and Inferno, you both get actions first. What do you want to do? You've broken her Victrola. You've turned out her hand of God. She's just laughed at you. Ray and Weaver have done some damage to her here and there, and she's still just sort of cackled. And Kurt Winter is still just sitting in the chair, unmoving, and not really saying anything either. So Inferno and Fuller, what do you want to do?
Am I still blind?
Well, it's very dark, and yes, you are, in fact.
Okay, then I will feel myself towards where I remember seeing Kurt sitting and try to get him out.
Okay, so you just want to try to like physically pull him?
Yeah, I'll just feel it. Pull him out.
Okay. All right. When you say get him out, you know that actually, no, I guess you wouldn't because you are blind. Okay. Yeah. You grab him. And where do you go with him once you grab him?
I'll try to leave the way we came out.
Okay. So you roll a strength test as you start to run.
I failed the strength with an 87.
Okay.
So close.
So you're carrying him, but he's not moving, but you realize something else is tugging, and Fuller, I would say, and Ray would agree, and Weaver, like the flames from below have started to illuminate the room a bit more. And you can see that Maddie has put her hand like out on what looks like the foot of Kurt Winter. And she's like, not yet. He needs to make it to sit. And then before she can even finish the word, the ground below Inferno and below Winter, with that added weight on top of each other, gives way. And Inferno, falls down to the 3rd floor into the fire. I need Inferno to make a luck test.
90.
Okay. You fall literally into fire, not into a slightly burnt place, but you fall into the fire. You are going to take only 3 points of damage. That's a very bad roll. 3 points of damage. As you smash down, you feel your back slam against ground. You feel the ground give, and then you feel flame and fire all completely, utterly over top of you. I need to roll a test for her. Yeah, oh, that's not good. And she tries to hold on to Kurt, but she fumbles, and he falls as well. And he smashes down, and he's going to take some damage as well, as the two of you have just fallen into the fire. Fuller, Weaver, Ray, all of you have seen this. Ray and Weaver, you can't do anything just yet. Fuller, go ahead and tell me what it is that you want to do.
Fuller is going to do something very dumb.
Okay.
Fuller is going to attempt to wrap her. Like she's going to attempt to grab Maddie.
Okay. I like it.
And jump her down into the fire.
Okay. All right. This will be contested. What's it called? Unarmed? Yeah, unarmed combat. Roll unarmed combat as you try to just tackle her down to the ground below. And let me know what you roll.
My unarmed combat is a 40. I'm going to take a boost, so it's a 50.
Okay, sounds
good. Come on. Son of a 67.
You try to grab her, and she just sidesteps. Like, she's a little bit in shock, actually, at seeing Kurt fall. Ah! And then you kind of stumble into her, and you shock her out of it, and she just kind of grabs you by the hair and flings you with like this unnatural strength, and you just go leaping and flying across the room and smashing off into the corner. Ray and Weaver, both of you roll POW tests.
Come on, get unfrozen.
Okay.
Crit success.
Both of you feel your hands come back into play, and your feeling come back into you. I need both of you to roll luck tests before you act. So it's just 50-50. You want a 1 to a 50.
Success.
Okay.
Also success.
You get your feeling back, and you see the floor begin to give way, and you're able to move before it does. You kind of sidestep over to the side, and you look back, and you see the very ground, the very floor that you're standing on, gives way and falls down into the floor below. And you can see there's fire spreading all throughout that apartment. But the two of you have an action. What would you like to do? Either order, I don't care.
Is there a door? Well,
You're in a room that you're in a living room of an apartment. There is a small hall that goes into a bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, but it's all ruined from age-old fire. And now there is a new fire. The floor is burning. The walls are beginning to fall. Like, it is like you guys literally have seconds to live. Is sort of where we're at. Like, you're like this whole place is going to collapse. This whole floor is going to collapse in the next 30 seconds.
Is there a window nearby with a fire escape to it?
Yes, there is. You can see it off to your right. It's boarded up, but you know that there is a fire escape on that side of the building.
That's what Lisa's gonna start fucking working on is getting some of the boards off so we can.
Are you getting Fuller in the process?
They
don't get me.
Fell down to the third floor, right?
No, she didn't fall down. She just got thrown to her side.
I got thrown.
Yeah.
I got thrown.
No,
like, if any of that
I'm getting the window. Loud. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting Fuller and going towards the window.
Okay, so Ray, you run over to get Fuller. Weaver, you run over to the window and you start like hacking at the window a little bit. I think you have.
I have the fire axe.
Well, I don't think you do
maybe
anymore,
I would have dropped
you carried
it.
The fire extinguisher.
It was a fire extinguisher.
Then you were gonna go smash with the fire extinguisher, and then
so it's probably
Inferno
out in that hallway. Yeah.
It's not there anymore. It's in the third floor.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean you can't do it with strength. It's just give me a strength roll. It's just gonna be a little harder.
Strength is actual shit.
I'm gonna say strength -10. because you're trying to literally just peel these things off with your bare hands. While you're doing that, let's check back in with Price. Price, you started the run down, and you've run down from the 5th floor onto the 4th floor.
Yeah.
Fire everywhere. I need you to roll a con ×5 test as you come down here. You can see the flames have come up through the floor. You can see the walls are beginning to cave in. Smoke everywhere. The heat is just so
That's a
utterly terrible.
fail. 70 over 45.
Take a point of damage. You're going to now have minus 20% on all your checks, all your physical checks.
I also fall unconscious.
You fall unconscious in the middle of the 4th floor. Okay. Inferno, how did you, when you took your damage, how are you?
I have 8 health left, so I think I'm fine.
Okay. All right. You unfortunately still can't see, but you know you fell. You know you're more likely a floor down. You know the floor is giving way. I'm going to want to roll an alertness test. This is for hearing. This is to see if you heard some things. So roll alertness.
I failed that too. 84
Okay.
over 74.
Okay. So as far as you know, you might be the only one who fell. What do you want to do?
I'm going to pick myself up and try and find an exit.
Okay. You have been in these apartments enough to know that you can kind of feel yourself around and until you find a door and you kind of push through. However, you're literally walking through fire as you do. You're going to take another 3 points of damage as you are just coated in fire, but you do get to a door. The door is already almost off its hinges, and you push out, and you can feel like some of the flames have started to lessen. Your skin is just peeling away. You can feel your clothes are on fire. You can't see anything. You're coughing. Give me a con ×5.
That's a failure.
Take another point of damage as you start to cough as you have inhaled so much smoke. Up on the top floor, up on the 4th floor, Fuller, Weaver, Ray, the 3 of you know that Inferno fell. At this point, you have no idea what happened to him. You have no idea what happened to Price. You know that Kurt fell as well. You ran off in different directions. Weaver, how did you do on your roll to try to peel the window open?
I failed.
Okay. And it's not about success or fail. It's just time. It's going to take you more than one action to do it effectively. So it's going to be like 2 rounds of you peeling away. Ray, you ran over to Fuller. So the 2 of you take your actions. What do you want to do? Weaver is accounted for with her. What do you want to do?
If we still can't get out the window, Fuller is stubbornly going to try one more time to see if she can grab
Ray's
this woman
gonna do
and
the
toss her down.
same. As Blair saw working in the window, she's gonna do the same.
Okay.
Take another leg shot.
Okay. So there's 2 things going on. Are you taking a shot or are you trying to knock her over? Those are 2 different things. So are you trying to knock her like Fuller is doing, like push her down into the hole?
Oh, good point.
Yeah. The timing of that could be awkward.
Yeah.
As I run shot through the back.
I'd like to ask Fuller to go and help Blair with the window, and I'll take a shot because.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll
great.
take a
And so
shot.
Fuller will go help with the window. Yeah.
Okay.
Fuller's like,
Ray.
okay, a gun, sure. She'll go help with the window.
Fire away, Ray. She is like, you can tell like she is no longer concerned with you all. She's kind of looking down the hole where Kurt Winter fell, and she doesn't even give a shit about the 3 of you at this point. And she's just looking, darling, you down there? So Ray, go ahead and take your shot.
Okay. It's a failure.
Maybe the reason it's a failure is you go to fire, you go to pull the trigger, and right as you do, you see her just hop down from the 5th floor down into the 4th floor into the fire.
Oh shit!
And you just missed. The bullet goes past. You can see it embed into the wall a bit. Weaver, you start pulling the boards off the fire. I need all of you to roll luck tests as you do so. Fuller, with you coming over and helping Weaver, I'll say the 2 of you are able to actually rip the rest of the boards off.
Sir, did you want one from Ray as well?
I want one from all three of you. So Weaver, Ray, and Fuller. Everyone's still on floor right now. Yeah.
Phil.
Success.
Okay, Weaver and Ray, the floor goes out beneath you, and the two of you see like the actual floorboards just collapse and bend. Fuller, you manage to step to the side of and like where you're on the left hand side of the window, and Weaver's on the right, and she falls. Both of you go ahead and roll. Those of you that are falling can roll a dex test to try to grab it. Weaver, I'll give you like a +20 because Fuller is potentially there to grab you. Ray's off by herself though.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
Success with a 19.
Ray, you dive off to the side and you do manage to stay. Like you're basically like on one of these upholstered chairs as the ground is just giving away underneath you. Weaver, you go to fall. Fuller reaches down. You kind of grab a hand and like the window is now open, but you're kind of pulling Weaver up. You can see Ray is on the other side of the room. There's this gulf of fire flaring up from between, from the floor below. We're going to cut to Inferno. Inferno, go ahead and give me a luck test.
A 7.
You're blindly stumbling, and then you kick something on the ground as you try to get to the stairs. You just kick something and you realize it's a body. Like you can tell just by kicking it. It's a body. You have no idea. You can't see anything. But there's a body on the ground. What do you want to do?
In the same room I was in, or the one I left?
You are in the hall. Like you think you're in a hallway. You think you made it out of the apartment, and you're in the hall. You're trying to like find your way to the stairs.
I'll feel their face. See if I can get an idea of features.
Okay. Interesting. You know what? One of the things you notice right off the bat, there's a lot. Man, this guy's got a lot of acne or bugs. Maybe it's one of the
very lotiony
guys.
Face too.
He's got a lot of wounds and a lot of bites and bumps. Either it's like some teenage kid with a lot of acne, or it's Price, because Price has been covered in like bumps on his face and all kind of stuff.
I'll pick him up and carry him.
Okay. You start moving down to the third floor. I need you to roll a contest, but yours is gonna be at -20.
And that puts me at 45. 17.
You're keeping it together even with the added stress, and you're just stumbling down the stairs with a body over your shoulder. Fuller and Weaver, you're both by the window. You can see that there is a fire escape. You feel this gush of air come in, but Ray is on the opposite side, and there is again a canyon of open floor and fire. And Maddie's not here anymore. What do you do, Ray? Or all of you can talk together. You can see each other. There's enough flame that it's visible.
Do I, sticking my face into the hole where Maddie jumped and everything, do I see her and Kurt?
Yeah, she is coated in fire. And you can see her like kind of bending down at one point, and you can see she's just sort of like scooping up a body that is also literally on fire.
And the fire doesn't seem to be negatively impacting her at all.
Oh, her skin is blackened and charred. She looks like she's been, she looks like she's literally being barbecued. Like the body is just getting utterly burnt away. You can see one side of her head has been burnt away, and it's just like this blistered pale scalp, and then the other side you can see the hair has caught on fire, but a few strands are still there.
Can you jump? Can you?
Yeah, Ray's gonna jump. Ray's gonna jump and
she's gonna try to jump over to Fuller and okay.
And the whole fucking point is to save as many as to try and save Kurt right now. So
you're gonna jump down?
Yeah.
You're gonna jump down?
Oh,
okay.
that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
I meant jump to us.
Well,
I meant jump to us.
What she's doing.
Fuller says, "Can you jump?" And Ray jumps the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry.
The moment Lisa
times.
sees her jump down, she's just going to start running down the fire escape.
Okay. Ray, you leap down to the fire-filled 4th floor room. You can roll a dex test to keep from like falling prone, and maybe something even worse.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's a better roll. Better roll for me. It's bleak. It's bleak, all right.
Yeah. Oh, good. Critical failure.
Ray,
Oh my gosh.
you go to hop down. You feel maybe you target like the bed or something, and maybe you even kind of land, or maybe you just miss it. But you feel the flames just completely envelop you, and then as you hit the floor, as you kind of bounce around and land on the floor gives way, and you fall another floor, and you go one, thump, thump, and you just completely bypass it. You're going to take 9 points of damage as you slam down. How are you looking?
I'm at 0.
Incidentally, you land and you fall into the room, into the apartment, as you look up and you can see on the wall, which is peeling away, a bookcase. You can see that there's a handful of books that are still there. You can see Frank Ryder, Frank Ryder, Frank Ryder, Frank Ryder. And like the last thing you see as your eyes close, Penny's boat, Frank Ryder, as you've fallen into Ronnie's apartment. Upstairs, Fuller, Weaver, you run out onto the fire escape. Is that right?
Yeah.
The two of you run to the fire escape and you start running down. And the smoke is coming out, black smoke, black smoke, black smoke. And you're running down and you're running down. Inside, Inferno, I need you to make another con times 5 as you try to get to the bottom floor.
This one still has a negative on it.
It's still negative 20 as your carrying price.
Not good, 98.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Take 1 point of damage. All of your rolls from here on out will have minus 30 to them. How are you doing on damage?
I have 3 HP.
Okay, you cannot fail another one. As you find yourself, like you've got down the 3rd, you've got down the 2nd, and you find yourself coming down, and you go, as you're going down the last flight of stairs, it dawns on you that Lila Sterrett's body should be on the stairs. But when you place your feet one after the other, you realize her body's not there. Maybe someone got it, maybe someone dragged it out, but it's not there. Fuller, Weaver, you're running down the fire escape. Okay, I need you to both roll. Okay, I need you to both roll a dodge test. As you run down from the 5th to the 4th, you go to curve and you start to go down from the 4th to the 3rd. How'd you do, Fuller?
I'm taking 2 boosts so that this is a 50-50 roll. And I rolled a 74 over 50.
Yeah, but Young rolled a 79 and that's worse. As the two of you are running down, you hear, and you're just as you're about to finish you're going down the 4th and get to the 3rd, you hear the crack of glass. And you see bursting out of the window is an arm. It is blackened like it is something from a barbecue restaurant. It is coated in flame. And when you look back into the window, you can see there is the burnt, hideous face of Maddie as she reaches out and she grabs Weaver and she tries to pull her back into the apartment. I need both of you, first of all, at the sight of this, to roll SAN. And then, Weaver, you get pulled into the apartment since you failed your first dodge. And you'll take 2 points of damage as you are yanked through. You feel a cut of the glass along your back. You feel the heat begin to overwhelm you.
So I'm at 1 HP now.
You are unconscious.
Oh no.
Mm.
Fuller, you watch this happen. What is your SAN? How'd you do in your stand?
I passed 41 under 47.
Okay. So no stand loss, but you did just see Weaver get pulled inside, and you see like the literally cooked, blackened, scarred, charred body of Maddie dragging her back into the fire. Fuller, you have a choice. This is your only opportunity. What do you want to do?
Jumping to wrest Fuller out of her grasp.
You leap inside. This is a good roll for you. 1 point of fire damage as you leap inside. And then I need you to roll, we're going to call this a contested strength times 5.
All right.
You're now in a burning... Oh, no. You're now in a burning apartment.
I'm going to take 1, so it's under 65, and roll a 76.
Okay. The good news is I also failed, and I failed, however, with a crit. So what I'm going to say happens is you guys are both pulling on her. Like you grab, Weaver gets dragged in by her leg. You try to reach out. You grab Weaver by the arm. You have to come inside the apartment itself. You're coated in fire. You're feeling the flames. You try to pull her out. You're unable to pull her out, but you do see as Maddie kind of pulls too hard, stumbles back, the floor opens up behind her and she falls down. All this means is you're going to take another round, and I need a con times 5 for you. Another round of just fire damage from you. Oh my God, you are the luckiest person.
18 under 65.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So you pull her out. The two of you are like on your backs on the fire escape. You see this flickering, like this little burst, this like backdraft, this inferno comes out, and you get hit with some flame. Fuller, take another point of damage.
I'm at 2.
Is it at 2 you fall unconscious, or when you go below 2?
It's at 2.
So Fuller, you
Damn
and Weaver
it.
are laying on your back. Inferno, you are moving as best you can. I need you to make one final contest to get out of here. Times 5, minus 30.
If you fail, this will be a TPK.
Somebody help me. 33 crit success. With the minus 30.
Even with the minus 30.
Yeah.
You feel a hand, like you hear a voice first, this way, we got more survivors. And you hear like a voice vaguely familiar, and you're like, oh, it's that guy. And you hear the sounds of one of the college guys. Come on, man. Oh, you don't look so good. We got to get you out of here. Come on. And he starts pulling you out. And you and Price get pulled on, like out onto the stoop, out onto the staircase. Because it's a critical success, I will say you also hear them. You hear someone say, "There's 2 people on the fire escape" as well. You hear it, but you look up and you can't see anything, Inferno. You are still utterly blind, and Price is still utterly unconscious. What do you want to do, man?
Ask him if there's like fire departments here. Anybody's here? Ambulance.
And I'll say you hear the sounds of the sirens, like they're almost here.
And I'll just get whoever I was carrying to help as best I can.
Okay. You just tell them to go. Like you just like go help them. Did you try to order them to do something?
Well, if I keep moving, then I'll have one of them lead me if possible.
All right. Okay, so you call out to Ben Schlatter, the guy, like, bro, I don't think that's a good idea. You don't look so good. You don't have any hair left, man. Like, we should wait for the professionals.
Is the fire, are they safe?
No, man, and I don't think that fire escape's gonna last much longer, man.
I can't see, but just point me in the direction.
How can you, what? What do you mean point you in a direction? If you can't see, how can I point you in the direction?
Just talk me through it. I'll make it there.
Fine, this way. Only because you got a critical success. And so he starts leading you over towards the fire escape. The third floor. Well, halfway down to, two women. I don't know who they are. I don't know. I don't. No, Naomi's over there. Bridget. I don't know, man.
Put something on them in case this collapses.
I'm not going up there, man. I'm not a hero.
No, you don't have to go up. Just, I mean, like a little tarp or like a cushion in case the fire escape collapses.
Throw some pillows down here to break our fall.
Agent Inferno, you start climbing up the fire escape?
Yeah, I'll make it way up.
Okay. You get up, and eventually you do, and he's like, couple more steps. No, couple more steps. No. Okay, right there. And you reach down. There are two bodies. They are both like kind of flickering.
I'll grab whoever's on top. First one there. I'll grab whoever's first on top.
Okay.
Weaver, I think, because Fuller pulled her out.
This is totally going to be a luck test. Are you kidding? This is totally going to be a luck test. Okay. I'm going to roll a secret one. And I'll show you it later. Ashley, I'm going to give it to you. Do you want 1 to 50 or do you want 51 to 100?
Let's do 51 to 100.
Okay. You grab one of the bodies. You start dragging it down. Thump, thump, thump. You have no idea which one it is. You don't even know if it's your partners. You have no idea who this is. All you know it's a woman, and he's like, that's it. And you feel the entirety of this fire escape begin to wobble as well. And right as you get down to like the first floor, right as you're coming down for this last bit, you just feel the entire fire escape just peel off to the side and just veer down. I need you to roll. You can roll dodge. You can roll dex times 5. Anything like that is fine. You're outside of the smoke at this point, so you don't have to take the penalty this time.
I'll do a dex. That sounds nice.
Okay.
34 under 70.
Okay, so you manage to fall. You watch the entirety of this fire escape just peel from this building as the wall kind of starts to cave in. You see it starts crashing, and then I'm going to roll for one of the other person that wasn't saved. Okay. And at that point, you feel hands on you, Inferno. And like, you're like, oh, come on, buddy, get away from there. And you don't recognize them, but you hear the sounds of like the sirens. You feel like, the spray of the water, etc. You're still blind. They start pulling you away. They start pulling you up to like an emergency room. They start pulling you up to an ambulance. Some time passes. You get yourself treated. Eventually your eyes kind of start coming in. Like people are shining stuff in it. They're putting droplets and droplets and droplets, and your eyes become blurry, like unblurred and unblurred. When you finally get your vision back, Inferno, you start moving about, and you notice in like off to the side, you can see some people are being triaged. You can see in the back of some of these ambulances, some people are being treated. You see Price unconscious. They're working on him. They got his shirt open. They've got all sorts of things and coming over his face. They're CPRing him a bit. You kind of move off to the side. You look at the back of another ambulance. You see kind of a burnt up woman's body. And you see on the face, like half the face is sort of covered in just what looks like horrific burn scars. You can see there's padding over top of it. But you very clearly recognize the face of Lisa Young, the person that you met in Hypoluxo. You look around, you don't see Fuller, you don't see Ray, but when you turn back and you look at the building, you see it is just a fully ablazed, collapsed building. And that's where we're going to go ahead and end for tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I rolled a 54. 1 to 50
Holy
was Fuller,
shit!
who lives.
Oh.
51 to 100, it was Weaver, who lived. It was totally luck. I didn't want to put that on. It wasn't fair to put it on Long to make that decision.
No, I agree.
Just Melissa's luck.
So
Oh.
that is
Well, I thought Jeff
third
was
character
rolling
death.
really well today.
I was rolling decently well. I rolled really poorly on some of the fire damage. That could have gone way worse, actually. And I'm sorry, Ray. You jumped the critical success. I thought it was perfect, though, actually, that you critically succeeded and went right through into Ronnie's.
Yeah, no, it's that's what happens to crit fail. What are you gonna do?
Okay. Now, well, the building burned down, guys. And it
I've been wanting to burn a building this whole campaign.
Success. We did it.
You took it away from me. I didn't get to start it.
Oh, goodness.
We didn't start the fire, okay?
It was always burning. It's
The world's been turning.
Okay.
Melissa, you and I can just can make characters together.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
You guys could
get some
make
confidence
sisters.
in here. Yeah.
I'm back to being the veteran.
What?
Are you?
For now,
you think
are
you're
you?
alive?
Oh man.
You think you survived?
Oh, I'm totally alive. They're doing first aid.
We'll
I get
find
one
out.
before I pop up I'm conscious in like 10 minutes tops.
I don't know. We'll find out. I'm gonna do some rolls off screen. We'll see if Price. I mean, he's an old man. He's an old man.
I'm in my 40s.
All right.
Oh
that is
man.
Great job, guys. Like that was really, really hard. It was super.
Amazing.
I was saying to Steven on Zoom before you guys got on, I'm like, I'm genuinely concerned this is going to be a TPK tonight. Like I was like genuinely, truly, not a joke, not like taunting. I was like, I think this could go really bad. But
If Luca hadn't crit success there at the end, it really probably would have.
The two of you were dead.
Serious.
It came down to
Which
just a couple
means-
rolls.
Which means
Yeah.
Weaver wouldn't
We
have
would
died.
have
That
been
was so
dead.
clutch, Inferno. I can't believe
Unreal.
Inferno was still alive.
That's
It's
crazy.
absolutely
I was
That's
one HP off
fucking
from
nuts.
classic.
That is
Wow.
insane.
I was 1 HP, one failed test by Inferno. If you would have failed any of those other contests and taken that point of damage from smoke inhalation, like you would have all been dead. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
And if Price would have just said something about cockroaches and shit on top of him, and one of you rolled a psychoanalysis, he could have still been in the fight.
yeah.
Lots of things
Coulda,
could have
woulda,
gone a lot of
shoulda.
different ways. Yeah.
I didn't realize that until after that conversation happened. I was like, oh, we could have.
I was just trying to play a try. I don't know. I always sort of debate that thing. I'll probably, kick myself later. Like I probably should have done this. Like that's what I do. You know that. Like I'm the most guilty. Like even if it's a concession, I'd be like I fucked up. Whatever. I
had a mental break earlier. Like he'd been redlining for so long. A sand break. I mean. So like it. I think it makes sense the way it worked out.
I'm okay. I mean, I feel sad because like I feel like Ray came in, but at the same time, I also feel like there was like this kind of poetic end of you like last thing you see is like
Frank.
Yeah, but I still kind of
Penny's boat.
sucks. Especially since she's like very competent. We need that in your group. But,
You're gonna have one of them are gonna make an actual FBI agent. Maybe.
I'm actually kind of surprised. Like Inferno is our only like OG, like true OG, like the first characters created. Weaver though is like OG, sort of. She was there from the beginning, but she wasn't a player character right off the bat, right? So but she's been there from the beginning. So I'm surprised that like I was like when I saw it happen.
2 EPs in, my character died.
You got eaten. You got destroyed by the bloated woman thing. All right. So let's get some closing plugs and we'll get on out of here. Steven, let's hear what Maitreyi has to say about what she does on the internet. So Maitreyi.
Well, when I'm not meeting a poetic end, I am who plays games on YouTube where I make system agnostic or multi-system content about tabletops that center the human playing experience that you should check out if you want to check out.
Absolutely. Link is in the chat. Link is in the description if you're listening or watching to this later. And then, okay, Steven, go ahead. Tell what are you up to these days, buddy?
I've been pretty busy lately. Not only am I hanging out here on Adventures in Lollygagging with my best friends, but also I'm working on a tabletop role-playing game. It's a Weird West game. If you like cowboys, if you like Cthulhu-esque horrors, you should come check it out. And you can do that by joining our Discord, because I'm running playtests on our Discord at least once a week. You join, you accept the rules, you give a thumbs up to the rules, and then you click on the little cowboy hat, you get the playtester role. And whenever there's an open slot, you can playtest. I'll run a game for you. So come hang out with us. Plus, you join our Discord and you get cool benefits like being able to see all the GIFs that I post throughout the session. I am a professional GIFer. And I think we got something else going on the Discord, right, Jeff?
Yeah, buddy, you should tell us about what that other thing is.
We're doing a giveaway. Our good friends at Norse Foundry are sponsoring a giveaway. You join the Discord, you go to the giveaway channel, and you just tell us one kind of fantastic location or non-fantastic location you'd like to explore in an RPG. You'll be entered to win. And we draw that on Monday during Alien, I believe.
During
right?
Alien. And it's funny you mentioned Alien because that's exactly what we're going to be rating here in a second. Somebody playing Alien. Old Man Garrus looks like they're playing some Chariots of the Gods. Before we go, though, we don't have Call of Cthulhu tomorrow. Our Saturday game is off this week, but we will be back on Monday with Alien. We'll be back on Tuesday with Steven running us through some Frontier Scum. Or actually, yeah, you're back on Tuesday running us through some Frontier Scum. Thursday, we've got some Simbaroom. And next Friday, we'll be doing some Warhammer 40K. Come hang out with us in the Discord. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out. If you're watching this later, we appreciate you as well. Follow the stream. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.